Do you see that thing there in the bushes? How can you? What kind of? You have 0-20 vision right now. How is your vision better than mine? Is Setsuka always winking and I've just never noticed? Good day. Good people. Toonley, Dave, year of the ascent, rising to the we're not gonna waste any time. To the top. Dang, okay, I need to turn that down just as mentioned. It is more Super Danganronpa, another 2. And as you can see by that red text, it is Deadly Life. Now, what I like, ooh, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, that's right. Oh right, there's been a murder, that's right. There's been a murder. So, we're gonna do 2 things. What 2 things? First of all, what I like about this, in series like this, is that I can release something, and then I can look at the comments, and apparently all of the interactions that I got, what are they, intimacy events I believe, are apparently, to get 3 of them is rare and unheard of. I would have never known. I just would have assumed that that was kind of the standard. Until Ecta was like, I got none. She was shocked when there was 1, and I was like, what event did I get where it was just 1? And then I saw the comment, and then the comment when it was edited, and I was like, oh. Oh, that's rarer than I think it is. Oh. I was wrong. And 2, we're gonna play my favorite game of how much of this do I actually know? So, it's gonna be a fun experience. I know I won't spoil how much I know about how the rest of this chapter plays out. You're gonna have to, I'll tell you at the hint. But for right now, let's investigate. But you know what I will do? I will act like I know everything that happens. That's a hint. Let's do this. Let's see what's up. Poor Yuri. Alright. We should probably start with the file. The Monochrome file. The victim is Yuri Kagarin. I hope I didn't like butcher his name every single time I tried to pronounce his last name. The estimated time of death is 7:30 in the morning. The victim's corpse was found on the 1st floor of the bell tower. The victim's left calf is pierced by a hook. He has a sharp cuts all over his body. He also has a pierced wound on his left calf. Other than that, the victim's bones in his neck, spine, and right knee and left arm are all broken. Estimated cause of death is blood loss and trauma from bruises all over the body. Cool. Also, it looks like the exclamation points don't disappear, so I'm just gonna have to keep track. It's Yuri's corpse. Oh, wait, no. They told me that I can, the game told me that I can, check on the progress of how many I have versus how many I need. It's the corpse. How did he, no matter how creepy he was, end up like this? Yuri, I will find the culprit. I promise. And I'm sure if he heard that, he'd be like, ah, my darling Sora. Thank you. I guess I need to inspect the body if I'm going to find the culprit. Yuri's dead body was left in a dreadful state. Well, yeah, he kind of got dragged up, and then he went down, 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 down. His whole body was dripping in blood. And all of his joints were broken and twisted in obscure directions. You're right, he is ragdolled right now. I guess
it's because he fell from so high up.
Yeah? Yeah? There's a huge hook stuck inside of his left calf. It looks so deeply rooted that it wouldn't budge when you touch it. How did they get it into his leg like that? I mean, it's a sharp hook. Ugh. 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 I'm sorry, it's just like when I imagine that. My left calf is like, oh no, please don't even think about it. And connected to that huge hook is a rope.
So the culprit pulled Yuri with this rope all the way to the top floor, then dropped him.
Yuri was a small boy, so I guess everyone's still a suspect, except for Yoruko, because she was at the top, so she couldn't have done it. Even at a glance, this rope seems... You know what? I take that back. Somebody's gonna come out with a game, and the most obvious culprit is going to actually be the culprit, and you're just gonna be like, it can't be them the whole time, and it's gonna be them, hidden in plain sight. This rope seems to be quite strong and sturdy. It would take a lot of force to cut this rope.
I get that the culprit pulled him up with the hook and the rope, but... What's with the wound on his right calf?
At first glance, it looks like the same hook that made this wound. Oh gosh, is that bone? I don't know. Was there a reason to hook both calves? That's a good question. I'm not sure the culprit was thinking, but I'll write this down just in case. What the culprit was thinking. Yeah. I didn't find anything else that wasn't already on the monochrome file. I figure there might be some sort of big clue hidden on the body, but with the exception of the fact that the rope and the hook were used, there was nothing like that. Guess I need to investigate some more. Dope. Double dope. Double dope 2000. Alright, what is this? Wires. What's this? Some long thread-like stuff scattered all over the floor. Upon touching it, it feels much sharper than a normal thread. Are these wires? They're so sharp you could probably cut your finger just by holding them. Ugh. I instinctively knew this must be what caused all the cuts on Yuri's body. He was cut by these wires. It would definitely explain the state of his body right now. The cause of death was definitely from falling, so this isn't the murder weapon, but it still seems like it's important, so I'll add it to my notes. Unknown liquid. Good question. I wonder, I mean, since I'm an expert in this chapter and know everything that's happening, I still wonder. Hey, you there. Hi. Yeah, you, the girl with the white hair. Huh, me? That's strange. You of all people calling someone over? That never crossed my mind. And white hair, isn't that a bit rude? Sort of makes me feel old. Whatever. I just want to tell you something interesting. You were thinking that hostess over there is suspicious, weren't you? Huh? You're talking about Yoruko? No, I don't think she's suspicious. In fact, she's the only one I have cleared right now.
It's useless.
Come on, you can't fool me. Your face says it. Well, about that, there's something interesting I want to tell you. I happened to see her walking over to the bell tower just this morning. What? Not only that, she was holding a rope in her hands. Well, that's bad. You know, like the one attached to the dead body right now. The culprit did that, but why would Yoruko bring... Oh, well, I don't know anything about that. I'm just testifying to what I saw. So, Yoruko went to the bell tower this morning with a rope in her hands. That's like saying Yoruko was the culprit. But there's no way I can know that for sure until the trial. I mean, she seems to be in the clear to me. I'll take note of what Seobai just said. Seobai's account, dope. Okay, so we've explored everything here except for unknown liquid, which we'll do last. Shinji, my boy, go ahead. Shinji, is everything alright with the crime scene? Duh, Sora. Yep. Yeah. Everything is perfectly under control. I guess there's with 3 people watching this place, the culprit can't touch a thing. By the way, Sora, maybe this is just me, but... about Yoruko. Please stop stuttering and speak normally. It's hard to get anything out of you. About Yoruko, I don't know. Isn't it a bit strange? You're saying she's suspicious? She seems different than before. I've been jogging with Hajime every morning. But today he was late because of some business. So I was spending time inside of the monocruise. And as soon as morning came and the doors unlocked, I saw Yoruko head outside right away. Yoruko went outside as soon as the doors opened. Of course, I have no idea where she went, but she was odd. And she looked even more suspicious now. Come to think of it, we found Yoruko at the top of the bell tower, which seems suspicious in itself. It seems like all the evidence is stacked up against her, so it can't be her. If by chance she's not the culprit, then how did she get up there? I can't be sure if she's the culprit yet, but she's definitely connected to this case. Thanks, Shinji. I think your account is going to help us a lot. Oh, why are you grabbing my hand all of a sudden? Ignoring the stuttering Shinji, I added his account to my notes. Thank you, Shinji. Oh man, okay, hold on. What's this? It's the spiral staircase, right? The spiral staircase that leads up to the top of the bell tower. Yeah, I feel like this staircase would make me vomit, if I'm being completely honest. It does go up really high. It doesn't look like it could, it doesn't look like it goes that high from outside. Yuri and I took these stairs to the top floor, but the only thing we found there was Yoruko. I thought for sure the culprit would be there, or maybe Yoruko is the culprit. I can't jump to any conclusions yet. Whatever the culprit did, they definitely pulled up Yuri. So at one point, they definitely went up these stairs, correct? If I consider the height of these stairs, it would probably take at least 5 minutes to climb them. Holy heck, okay. So when did the culprit actually go up these stairs? I guess close to 5 minutes before you guys walked in or something like that? None of those are important. Alright, so unknown liquid, then let's head upstairs. Ah, there's some sort of liquid on the ground. What is this? I wonder. Well, it's either urine? Radioactive waste? Alcohol? Nickelodeon green slime. Don't have the guts to taste it, so I crouch down and smell the liquid. Smells like some sort of chemical substance. Never mind. Sounds like someone's been drugged.
Say.
Sora, what are you doing crouching on the ground? There's some kind of liquid here. Ah, that's an anesthetic solution. How do you, okay. Anesthetic solution. It's yeah. It's anesthesia. You can piece that one together. I'm not gonna, Sora, you don't have any memories. I'm sorry. I was about to be that guy. This one in particular is quite often used in medical surgeries. It's used for general anesthetic. Well, hold on, why do you know just by looking at it, ma'am? How do you know all of that? I've smelt it quite a lot. Okay. Do you spend a lot of time in a hospital or something? Moreover, the fact is that if this is here, the culprit used it, right? But that liquid alone wouldn't be enough to render someone unconscious. Don't worry about that. I already went and confirmed that one of the needle shots is missing from the infirmary. My goodness. Whose sloppy self? I guess if they were in a hurry, they were in a hurry. I went to go check as soon as I found that an anesthetic was used. The culprit must have used the shot to inject Yuri with the anesthetic. That's what you think. We also have Yoruko. She could have been anesthesiized because we found her at the top all, super duper confused. I thought she was just super wasted. But I guess she didn't drink, did she? At the party. She was hosting. And she had to walk people back. Good question. That's impressive, Kanade.
Look.
Did you also know that the shots can be precisely measured to know how much you want injected? In other words, an amateur can control the amount of time the victim will be unconscious. That's... You are! Thank you! I don't know if the culprit utilized that, but it's definitely an important clue. I see. I'll add it to my notes. Yes, my... notes. Don't mind if I do. But I have to say, you completely changed. You've changed, Kanade. Look at you now. You're useful. We don't love to see it. Your actions and way of thinking, it's almost as if you're used to this kind of thing. Well, I've participated in a lot of murders before. I mean, after seeing Yuri die like that, I've hardly been able to keep myself together. Used to it? Oh no, I just read a lot of mystery novels.
Also.
And if I panic, poor Hibiki will only suffer more. Even though Kanade's personality took a creepy 180 flip, her account definitely brings us one step closer to finding the culprit. Alright, so she's a little freaky, but you know what? Useful. We take those. We take those. I guess we can talk to everybody. A murder at last, Miss Sora. You look really excited.
I'm just kidding around.
Well, half of you does. The other half is pretty stoic. Why would I not be? we can finally begin the main event of this killing game, the class trial. I guess, you know what, that's fine. You know what, you're right. I'm excited too, I won't lie. By the way, I plan to do my best to figure out the culprit and the murder trick as well. You know, it's interesting. Knowing that he's the mastermind, but also knowing that he does not get any of the information, so... More power to you, my mans. The first murder has filled me with enthusiasm. Sure, do your best or whatever. Whatever. Oh, Yuki! You're Yuki! How are you? So, Sora, how's your investigation going? I'm trying my best. What about you, Yuki? Me too. I can't stop thinking about Yuri's face, though. Well, you don't have to think about it. It's right over there if you want to see it. It's pretty horrifying, grim, disgustimated.
Sorry.
But I shouldn't act weak like this. I need to do it since it has to do with all of our lives. Yeah, I'll keep trying to do my best as well. See you later, Yuki. Yuki, I'll see you later. It's been a good time. I've technically talked to you. How are you doing? You're in this chair. Are you freaking out? You're freaking out. Person is dead. For real. What I feared the most actually happened. I'm scared. Like Zoinks, man. Who's this? Oh, I talked to you. Hajime, how are you doing? Yuri might have been a weird one, but he definitely didn't deserve to die. No one in this world deserves to die. Feel bad for not building a closer bond with him. You shouldn't. I don't think he would want to bond with you. Considering your gender. Iroha, how are you? Also, who else commented? Saya Killer was like, she's not the firebender. As long as she has Iroh in her name, she can bend fire. Don't at me. Sorry. The fact that Yuri's dead, it's hard to believe. There's nothing we can do about what's already done. Preach, Sora. I know, but this already feels so surreal that it's like, this isn't even real life anymore.
Positive, stay positive.
Right. We need to think more positively. It's even more important in times like this. Yuri seemed like a dangerous person, and he wasn't that helpful either, so I guess it's a relief that he's the one that Iroha, what the heck? So I guess it's a relief that he's the one that perished. I think you're crossing the line there, bud. Look, every so often, you gotta take a marker and you gotta draw a line, and that's the line that you never cross. She was here, then she was here, and then she crossed the line. In fact, no, that's how you cross the line. You draw a line on the line, that's crossing it, and you just did it, Iroha. Besides, that sounds far from optimistic. Oh, my bad. Get out of here with that, Iroha. You're on my list now. You're still adorable, though. So let's go up the stairs. Oh, Emma was right there, too. Let's go back down the stairs. Don't think you can hide from me, Emma. I'm gonna talk to you.
Oh dear.
I heard from Yuki that the culprit the culprit pulled Yuri up from the top of this bell tower. I'd say it was pretty bold of the culprit. The spiral staircase is much taller than it looks. How could one possibly think of climbing up this staircase to the top? Well, I climb up there a lot looking for people. Wires, large bell. There's wires up here? Of course there's wires up here, because I'm an expert of this trial and know everything that's about to happen. Ha ha ha. Upon inspecting the spiral staircase from here, I realized something odd. Are those wires just taped? I think these wires were on the first floor too. When I touched them, I could tell that they were one and the same. They're connected to the walls along the spiral staircase. Looking closer, they weren't the only ones strung from the bottom to the top. Wires are strung across the walls in intervals. Who had the time? Not even the time, the audacity, the temerity, the moxie to line this bell tower from top to bottom with wires. Must have been hung up here before. I guess with a pulley system they could have easily done that. Right? Because they pulled them up. These were definitely set by the culprit, but why would they go out of their way to do this? I have no idea, but I'll still take note. You taking note of it? I'm taking note of it too, so I think it's a little bit suspicious. In fact, I'm gonna put it on a different list, the list of suspiciousness. Yep, looks like it. Continue, please. I did not mean to reinvestigate that. Oh, thank you, that's just one. You know what? I love that more than anything. More than anything, that they didn't make me do that whole dialogue. That's good stuff. What's this bell? It's an enormous bell that decorates the top of the bell tower. Huh, there's something odd here. What are those? Looks like traces of some sort. Looking from the bottom, it looks like something was swept through the top of the inside walls of the bell. I wonder what made those traces. I recall that before Yuri fell, the bell rang. Could it be related? I've never looked inside of the bell before, so it's possible those traces have always been there, but I think that that's a little bit suspicious, even though I wasn't aware. I wrote it in my notes. Marks on the bell. Suspicious. Don't mind if I do. Let's continue going on. I think that's everything up here. So where to next? I guess just outside. Oh hey! What's up, Setsuka? Setsuka, is the investigation going smoothly? Are you always winking? Is that your thing? Do you always wink? Except when your third eye is showing in that one. I don't remember. I gotta really pay attention now. Ah, rah rah.
What is it?
You winking again? Okay. Well, about that, I found something strange. Something strange? Come follow me for a second. This is the entrance to the bell tower. Do you see that thing there in the bushes? How can you? What kind of? You have 0-20 vision right now. How is your vision better than mine? That thing? That thing? That thing? Ah, this is... I was gonna say, is that a life jacket? Of course it is, because I know exactly everything that happens. I'm pretty sure no one uses to take a swim. In fact, it looks like there's a hook and a rope attached to it. Do you think the culprit, that this is something the culprit might have left behind? It's very close to the crime scene after all. And it's got a hook and a rope on it. Why would they need to use a life jacket like this? Look carefully, Rara. There's a hook grappled to the life jacket. Ah, you're right, and this hook. She's seeing all of these things before you. And she has 0-20 vision right now. 0-20. Yep. Unless, with this eye closed, her other eye gains more strength. Maybe she has 0-40 vision right now. Actually, I don't know if that's good. I think 0-20 might be the best in her scenario. I think 20 is just perfect. Yep. The one that we found in Riri's calf. I still don't know what exactly it was used for, but it was definitely used in the murder. Setsuka? By all odds, this is crucial evidence. I thought so too. Let's keep this in mind. A life jacket that seems to have been used by the culprit, and Setsuka's eye is still closed, but for what purpose? Interesting. Is that, Did I not do everything? Am I the blindest boy? Alright, well, let's check. How do we check? You guys don't know. It's clearly in the bullet section. Oh yeah, I'm missing 2, it looks like. Yeah, I'm missing 2. I kind of just assume it's outside. Yep. Ah, Rara, where are you going? Ah, hello, Setsuka. I'm going to look elsewhere. I know the murder happened here, but there could be clues in other places, right? Alright, in that case, I suggest you visit the guest house. It's right next to the bell tower. You may be able to find something thanks to our party there last night. Ah, I see. Alright, thanks. Thank you for that information. The guest house right next door. Probably something happened here. Alright, let's see what's up. That's a regular question mark. Those are all regular question marks. How you doing? How you doing, girl? Kokoro. Sora, have you decided to come here too? Since the guest house is so close to the bell tower, I thought I would check it for clues.
Which means...
Good idea. The guest tower does indeed have some clues. You should find them. Thanks! I will do just that. Help. Oh, hey! Oh, hey! Oh, there's a door back here that I've never been able to go into. I'm gonna open that door one of these days. Just you wait. What is this? Glass bottles with some liquid inside of them, probably from the party last night. The smell is still lingering. I don't know how people manage to drink this stuff. Girl, let me tell you. One sip and I was already feeling dizzy. Ooh, low tolerance. Get out of here with that. You're a child. Yes, literally get out of here with that. Don't drink responsibly, or not at all if you're out of age. I was smelling all the bottles when one of them suddenly caught my attention. Huh? Wait, this bottle... Inside of this bottle doesn't smell. Does that mean it isn't alcohol? Instead of having the stinging smell of alcohol, this bottle that I picked up smelled like nothing. After some hesitation, I drew. What? Hi, you just knew that I just okay. It really doesn't taste like anything. This is just water. A bottle of water amongst the bottles of alcohol. Maybe someone just wanted to drink water last night, or perhaps they used this as a escape. I should take note of this just in case. Alright, so this is the last one. Yo, Ruka, what's good? Ah, Sora, what brings you here? Well, everyone thinks you did it, but I don't think you did it. So, up front, tell me what's good. That's my line. That's my line. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Nothing much, but you know, the murder happened right after the night of the party, right? So I figured the party must have had something to do with the murder. Ah, I came here for the same reason. Great minds think alike. Hey Sora, when do you think the culprit decided to kill Yuri? By when you mean... I mean there were 6 people who stayed up late drinking, including me. Okay. Actually, there was a period where Yuri was alone. Maybe that's when the culprit took their chance. So Yuri was left alone last night. Yo, Ruko, do you think you could explain in detail what happened last night? Well, after we sent you away, we kept drinking and partying. Okay, so you were getting lit too, okay. Of course, I wasn't drinking. Never mind. You were being responsible. Proud of you. But the others were drinking non-stop. They were fully drunk. Eventually, nighttime came, so we were forced to head back to the Mono Cruise, but Yuri said he needed to use the bathroom and that we should leave without him. So you left him all alone. What were you thinking? Oh wait, he wasn't completely alone. There were 6 of us. There were 6 of us together. But we needed to hurry because if we didn't make it back before nighttime, we'd get locked out. To be honest, things were so out of control. Continue. Things were so out of control with me trying to take care of all the drunk people that I don't even remember some of the details. Someone definitely went with him, but I can't recall who it was. So you didn't check if he would actually return to the Mono Cruise, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't even know if he made it back. I could have never guessed that at the time, things would have ended up the way that they did. I was being careless. I guess I should ask the other students if they saw Yuri go into the ship last night. Might be a good idea. Anyway, Yuri was definitely alive until we all drank yesterday, so maybe that'll help. Also, this is just in case, but you didn't do it, right?
What are you saying?
Of course not. Why would I be the culprit? Well, all signs point to you. I see. I'd like this to be a truth bullet. Truth bullet. Yoruko says she didn't do it. So she didn't do it. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about this whole mess during the class trial. Thanks to Yoruko's account, we might be able to know when the killer went for Yuri. Dope. And thus... Okay, I was about to say, what?
I'm pleased that you're all investigating so rigorously.
Thank you, I've been trying my darndest.
However, your time is now up.
Oh.
The investigation has ended.
I wanted to keep trying my darndest, sir.
We will now commence the class trial.
I felt
so
like no
please gather at the entrance to the class trial room on the first floor of the Mono Cruise.
The Mono Cruise. It's not even 30 minutes into the... Okay. Fine. Have it your way, Monocro. Seems like investigation time is over. We're beefing now, Monocro. I wanted more time. We did our best, but we can't be sure as to who the culprit is until the class trial, so hold on. We need to do this, we need to trust everybody's abilities, we need to hope that we can solve all the mysteries in the class trial. Mono Cruise's first floor, he must be talking about that door. I should hurry. You're all here.
Hey.
And you're all here and one of you killed him. Who did it? You're late, Sora. Last place again. I'm late? Well, sorry about that. You know, I'd like to point out the excuse that Aside from Yuri, I have sustained the worst injuries on this Yeah, I'll say that mine were worse than Siobai's. The worst injuries on this island, I was stabbed in the stabification area, aka my gullet. So, I think I have every right to be last. Punk? Let's go. We were worried about you. Why were you so late? I came as soon as I heard the announcement. Maybe it's because you're the culprit, right? Ibiki. As if. Ibiki, you can't say stuff like that to poor Sora without any evidence. It's like Kana said, your eye is really always closed and I never noticed. Oh man, I'm a fake Setsuka fan. Either way, we expose the culprit or we all die. There's only two outcomes. If we mess this up, we're all dead. What happened to us? Yesterday we were partying. How did it come to this? Well, one of us killed him.
That's just how it is.
We don't have time to think about this. If we give up here, we won't be able to survive. Wait, is this the class trial room? It's not like how I imagined it would be.
Good grief.
No, this is only the entrance to the class trial room. See that elevator? We'll be taking that down to the class trial room.
Hey!
Take that down? Down where? Aren't we on a cruise ship?
This is stupid.
You take it down, down, down to the bottom of the sea. Yeah, let's get this over with. You're pretty damn laid back, considering all of our lives are in danger. I already know who did it!
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
I do.
Everyone seems to have gathered, so let us waste no time in getting started.
Cool.
Now, the thrilling, the extreme class trial.
Well, I didn't know we were having an extreme class trial. I'm here for that. Let's go.
Everyone, please enter the elevator in front of you and make your way to the class trial room.
Team Extreme,
As
alright?
you might have already realized, you cannot escape from the class trial.
Yeah, no. I'm already hyped. You already said my trigger word. You said extreme.
Face it head on, using what you learned in your investigation.
Yeah.
Let us begin. The first class trial of the Utsuroshima field trip of mutual killing.
You left off extreme, my boy. It's extreme. You already got me hyped up with the extreme. Let's go. So, why did the word extreme really got me? All right. So we're really doing this. I don't want to go down. Are we going to be able to find the culprit? It'll be really bad if we can't. Yeah, it'll be death if we can't. That's really bad.
Time for a beatdown!
You know what? Bring it on! See, he's hyped for extreme too. Let's go, Team Extreme. It's not like we can escape this anyway. It's like what Big Bro says. If we put our heads together and discuss this, we'll find the culprit. The culprit who killed Yuri. Let's find them, no matter what. It's starting. Once we go down this elevator, there's no going back. No running away, no giving up. But I am not alone. I need to survive this with everyone. Alright, I get to talk to everybody. What's up, Team Extreme? What's good? Alright, what's up with you? Tell me who did it. I don't want to die either, so I promise I'll do my best in the class trial. Alright, Hajime, sound off. We either do this or face death. What's done is done. We can't avoid it. Let's at least try to overcome it. Team Extreme, say bye, sound off. All just because someone died? What a waste. We knew his name, my boy. Iroha, Team Extreme, sound off. This wasn't the school life I wanted. Oh, that's sad. But Team Extreme, Yoruko, sound off. It's really starting. I guess I should put some thought into this. Team Extreme, Shinji, sound off. Class, I should have saved him for last because he's the most extreme right now. Class trial or whatever, bring it on. I'm going to overcome it all, Team Extreme. Satsuko, what's up? Let's discuss as much as we can based on what we found. We must find the killer. Yuki, what's good? We can't run away after coming this far. Let's find the killer. Team Extreme, that's right. Emma, what's good? I've been in a courtroom setting before, but this isn't my first time in an actual trial. Oh, because you're an actress. How will I do well? You better. Because this isn't just a class trial. It's an extreme class trial. Let's go. Alright, I don't know why I'm so hyped. Kanade, what's good? Oh, we're talking to both of them, okay. Will I be okay? Kanade, we'll get out of here alive, right? Of course, you have me. All you have to do is stop worrying and wait for me to solve this for you, Hibiki. Team Extreme! DK, what's good? Let's crack this case down to size. Let's do it in fashion, too. Team Extreme! That way we can decorate the front page of the newspaper tomorrow with this juicy scoop. Team Extreme. Alright, I probably shouldn't have ended with you for Team Extreme, but go ahead, Kokoro, sound off. Let's go! Team Extreme! Let's go. I'm done. Let's go. Yeah, right. No, I'm not. Let's save real quick. Oh, I'm feeling myself. Alright, 9, let's go. He's probably gonna ask me to save again anyway, let's go. Alright, here we go. Let's go. What a great way to end it. You know what? I take it all back. Take it all back. She's great. She's gonna be top notch. That was the best person to end with. After making sure everyone was in the elevator, we pushed the button to go toward the door with the elevator to begin to descend, but what is the ascent? What are y'all doing? Y'all are gonna go up. The elevator made a loud noise as it slowly, but steadily descended. Normally, everyone would have been talking to each other, but the vibrations of the elevator seemed to make us all mute. It alerted us of the class trial. Come. The elevator's sound grew louder, as if to make fun of all of our fear. The thoughts that we may never see the light of day again crossed all of our minds. But we couldn't let that happen. Whoever killed Yuri wasn't going to get away with this, as everyone had their own thoughts of what may or may not happen. The elevator came to a screeching stop. Stop! Well, what is this place?
Not bad.
You finally arrived. Welcome to the most advanced facility of the Monocruise, the class trial room.
Huh?
Oh, I love what you've done with the place. Very impressive. Have you not seen this place? This feels like an actual court or something. I assume that you're all ready. What kind of actual court does this seem like? As a man who served jury duty, it doesn't look like an actual court. I also assume you all know that there isn't any running away from this. Let us begin. Everyone go to the stands with your names on them.
Very well.
Excellent. Your solemn expressions, your extreme expressions tell me that you're all going to face with the appropriate resolve. Now then, let us begin. The first class trial of the Utsuroshima field trip of mutual killing. Look, I want to go off again before we start this one. The class trial is finally starting and all of our lives are on the line. If we win, we'll live and the Blackened dies. If we lose, the Blackened lives and we all die. Worst option, worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. In other words, no matter what, someone will face their death here. I can't let those thoughts cloud my vision. I need to focus. I gotta put my focus goggles on for the class trial right now. Yuri, the ultimate spaceman, is no longer with us due to his brutal murder. Yeah, and I heard this is not the most brutal murder either. He may have been uncooperative. He might have been a terrible person to men and women alike, but he was still our classmate. It's like Emma said, if this killing game hadn't happened, we would have all been such good friends. Yuri, maybe, who knows? The culprit, the one who did this terrible thing to Yuri, is among us right now. Okay, great. I don't know why, this is always my favorite part. This is always my favorite part. It's such a small thing, but it's always my favorite part of these games. Various thoughts intertwine, and the curtains finally open. A trial of life and death. A lie of life and death. A betrayal of life and death. Oh, that's cute, them in the middle, that's dope. The truth of life and death. The excuses of life and death. The trust of life and death. Oh, Yuri, he's dead. A matter of life and death. The class trial. The extreme class trial. Alright, I'm done. I'm done with the extreme. Probably. I make no promises. File 10, the perfect 10, we love to see it. Alright, well on that note, I'm gonna continue. but I am gonna stop the recording and very quickly restart it. So let's see what we got. Equip skills. We'll put that on. We'll put that on. We got no other skills because I think I only. Oh no, we got one more. What is this? Increases the number of bullets to 9 and removes the. So I don't know what that does, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. All right, cool. And I don't have any more, right? Number of bullets to 9 and removes the reload delay. Cool. All right, I like that. View the. I don't need to view this. I'm an expert of what happens, so I'm gonna look at these real quick. Rope, stab, sharp wires, broken wires, so that's the difference between those two. The spiral staircase takes about 5 minutes. Marks on the bell, bottle of water, the tether, the knockout juice, Kanade being kind of dope, Shinji being he just saw something. Yoruko, I didn't do it. But they left Yuri alone. And then our homie here. Alright. Cool. Nice. Let's start. I'm ready. Hold on. I gotta get it out of my system. Extreme, let's go. Alright, let's go. Yeah, let's start. Trial. All rise.
Firstly, allow me to briefly explain the rules of this class trial.
Oh, I'm actually really excited for this, actually. This is all the voice actors' hard work, so let's do this. I'm excited for this.
The results of the class trial will be decided solely by your votes.
Dope.
If you manage to correctly identify the blackened, only they will receive punishment.
Excellent.
Everyone except for the blackened will be punished, and they will be able to escape this field trip of mutual killing.
We don't want that. So it's begun, the class trial. One of the people here brutally murdered Yuri.
Well,
it was.
First and foremost.
Wait a minute, Monocro. There's something I'd like to ask first.
Alright, shoot.
Oh, and what might that be?
Accomplices. Can there be accomplices in a case?
Good question. Whether or not there are accomplices will be a huge factor in deciding the culprit.
A good question indeed. I guess it wasn't specified in the rules. To be blunt, there can be accomplices.
What? So it's possible?
But in theory, only one person gets to actually leave the island anyway.
Of course. The rules even say that only the first murder counts if more should occur.
Interesting.
In other words, without any reward, an accomplice is no more than another tool for the culprit.
A tool, huh? Okay.
They'd gain nothing from assisting the culprit, after all. Even if they succeeded, they'd be unable to escape the island alongside the blackened.
And they would die.
More importantly, they'd still face the same execution as the rest of us.
Correct.
He's got that right.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, it's Yuri.
That. You don't need to concern yourself with it. It would have been Yuri Kagorin's seat.
Kagorin.
It's rather sad to just leave a blank space there.
Sure did butcher his name every time.
That's an awful sense of humor you've got there.
Wait, something's off about this. What's that empty seat over there?
It's exactly what it looks like, an empty seat. There's no need to concern yourself with that either.
I admittedly noticed that.
You're very interested in the petty details, aren't you?
Petty? No.
Questions are fine, but shouldn't you be discussing the murder first?
Right. This place is extremely unpleasant. I'd like to leave as soon as possible.
Okay.
It might be the last place you ever see if we don't figure out who the culprit is.
Facts.
Say such terrible things!
But is he wrong?
Wait, all of you. Do you mind if I say something before we begin?
Yes, Kokoro is as second team manager of Team Extreme, right behind Shinji. Go for it.
Huh? What is a Kokoro? I know who the culprit is.
Oh.
What? Are you serious?
Oh, she's just using her mind predicting abilities.
Who is it? Who's the culprit?
I know who the culprit is, and I know exactly how they did it. So I'll give them the chance to speak.
Oh. Oh, this is gonna be
Pick
quick.
yourself up now. Perhaps then I may understand that you regret your actions. You'll be found out anyway, and it's better to confess rather than have it dragged out of you. Nobody's confessing.
Obviously. What kind of idiot would tell the truth? They'd be sentencing themselves to death.
Fair.
Alright. We'll do this the hard way.
Do you actually know them?
So who's the culprit, Coco?
I can't tell you that right now.
Coco.
What? Why are you screwing around? Just tell us. We don't know who it is, so just tell us so we can get this over with.
No, I don't think she really can tell us right now. She's smart. Let's step back. Blindly trusting her would be a mistake. If she was just like, this person did it and you relied on her, she would very easily be the person who could commit a crime and everyone would just believe her when she said it was someone else. So she can't do that. That's just not okay. She can confirm suspicions, but I don't think she can do this.
Like Sosie said, I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be.
Would you be able to comprehend it, even if I did tell you? I would be lucky to be believed.
Fair.
I sense that a few of you are suspecting me already.
Aha. Your powers of observation are truly outstanding.
Fair.
This is a class trial. All of our lives are on the line here. We need to find a conclusion that everyone finds acceptable.
Correct.
So that there is no doubt who the culprit is when we all cast our votes.
She's right.
Figure it out for yourselves as much as you can. I'll help you if you get stuck.
This is totally suspicious.
No, she's just the soothsayer right now, if I'm being completely honest.
Don't dismiss her when we haven't even started yet. What? What's with that condescending attitude, huh? Do you think I'm an idiot?
I hope she just says yes.
Oh, sis, your mood's back up again. Of course. I don't want to sit around moping forever.
Hibiki, you're both nuts.
I'm really scared. But I'll do whatever it takes to stay alive.
Alright.
I see. That's good, sis.
Let's get started then.
Wait a moment. May I say something as well?
No. Okay, if you insist.
What is it now?
I imagine that some of you may suspect me simply because I'm the mastermind. Your opinions on me as a person are inconsequential. But please, for all of our sakes, treat me as just another student during the class trial.
Fair.
We would all die if we reached the wrong conclusion, after all. I don't want to die either, you know?
That's exactly what the real culprit would say.
I'm inclined to agree with him solely because I nominated him as the captain of Team Xtreme, so go ahead. Yeah, pop off, Shinji.
Oh, come now. This is a prime example of what you should not do.
Fair.
Shinji, I'm sorry, but he's right. If Mikado wanted to act as the mastermind, he had plenty of opportunities to do so before.
Fair.
Everyone here is a suspect, including Mikado and I. The purpose of this discussion is to narrow down that list.
I see. I understand. I'll try my best.
So, can we start now?
Where should we begin?
If you're confused, try starting with what we know happened in this case.
Do your best. My life's on the line too.
Are you not gonna help? We should probably start with what we know about the case. I need to try my best. Everyone's lives depend on it. Oh yeah, let's hear it actually. In a non-stop debate, you have to point out and counter contradictions in the student's arguments with a truth bullet. In the upper corner is the speaker. Meter. Occasionally, students' line will have a yellow phrase. That phrase is the weak point. You can move your... Oh, I'm gonna have to click? Oh boy. Over this weak point and press confirm to fire a truth bullet. You're free to fire truth bullets at regular text as well, but nothing will happen and points will be deducted instead from your score. Okay, well, so maybe try to avoid that. Yeah, I guess that's a good one. Press shift to... Okay. After aiming, hit S. We'll skim. Okay, allow you to skip. Okay. Dope. I was wondering what the skippy button is. Cool. Shift to change the loaded. This feature isn't available if you only have one truth bullet. However, you successfully refute an argument. The correct truth bullet, a cut, and will display, and then you go to the next part. If you fail, you'll do that, and then in that case, your focus gauge will go down 1, and points will be deducted if your focus gauge is completely over. The minigame will start over. You won't be able to aim properly if you're pressing an arrow key. You won't be able to aim properly if you're pressing an arrow key while securing your aim on a weak point. So please release any held arrow keys before firing something. Okay, that's fine. So let's just play around with it for a second. Non-stop. Another dope. Alright, so this is just, you know, we're gonna flex off this one. I'm gonna let them talk though.
To begin, Riri died at 7:30 in the morning.
Correct?
30 minutes after the morning announcements.
Is it true that Sora and Yuki were together at the scene of the crime?
Yes, Yuri contacted me after I woke up this morning. When I saw the message asking for help, I immediately ran to the bell tower. I saw Yuri hanging from a rope, badly injured.
True, I saw that too.
And before I could do anything, he was dragged up. His corpse fell to the ground moments later.
There were so many cuts on Yuri's body.
It's true.
Could the murder weapon be a sharp object?
Well, I'm not gonna listen to it all again, because that's wrong.
No, that's wrong!
So there were a couple things that I did want to note. The thing at the top, the little start to finish thing, dope. Love that. Oh. I like that it gives you the result after each one. And you can say, oh, did I get something for that I can save after each one? I think I did. I think that's one of my skills. That's kind of dope. I don't need that. Y'all know I love saving. It'd be wrong of me not to. Let's resume.
No, Iroha. Yuri couldn't have been killed by a sharp object.
However, that will be super useful for the future if there's an especially long trial and I can just be like, I've got to stop and I'll finish later. That's super useful. I do like that.
If you check the Monocro file, it says that the cause of death was blunt force trauma. In other words, read, Iroha. I know you're a master firebender. Yuri's death was likely caused by his fall.
Oh, I see. There were so many cuts on his body that I overlooked that.
Then what are those cuts from?
The wires. The cuts are probably a result of that object. And that object is. Alright, so which one? These ones.
Got it. His injuries were caused by the sharp wires.
Wires?
Did you see all the wires strung in between the empty space in the middle of the spiral staircase?
Yep.
Yuri was dragged up by a rope and was cut by the wires as he fell to the ground.
I do wonder if either of those would have been a correct answer. It's like little things about that I wonder and cannot go back and check. Well, I mean, I guess I could if I just, hit F12 and restart the game? I think F12 is the RPG Maker. Restart game real quick.
He fell very quickly, which is why the wounds are so thin and yet so numerous.
Oh, so that's why the cuts were there.
Yep.
You never even checked the Monocro file? I can't believe you call that an investigation.
Alright, well, you could have, phrased that nicer, but I think I said almost the same thing.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it was an honest mistake. Don't pick on her.
An honest mistake? It's rich of you to say that when we could all die from it.
He's not wrong.
I can't leave my life up to you all if you keep acting like idiots.
Look, Iroha, I love her, but he's not wrong.
Leave your life up to us.
Everyone's lives depend on the outcome of this trial, not just mine, yeah?
Correct.
If the rest of you work hard to find out the culprit, I don't have to waste my own energy.
That's smart. Conserving energy?
What? You're basically saying that you're going to leech off of us?
Yes.
I will intervene if I have to, but I'm not a fan of inefficiency.
Respect, mad respect.
You're working to save your own hides, so isn't this a favorable outcome for us all?
He's got a point. After all, that's the man who stabbed me. I trust him with my life.
Truly a degenerate ruffian. You've never even heard of the concept of cooperation with someone?
Now, everyone. We won't accomplish anything if we let ourselves be distracted by people such as Mr. Hashimoto.
Correct.
Let's carry on with deliberations, shall we?
But if the culprit wanted to kill Yuri by dropping him, why did they go through the trouble of installing all of those wires?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, the why. Of course, I know because I'm a master of this trial, but you know.
I'm not sure. I think we'll have to talk about it a little more.
All right. So could everyone tell me what they were doing at the time of Riri's death?
Most notably, nobody else was there. Except for the some of us.
Like I said, Sora and I saw Yuri's death with our own eyes.
Yeah, we were there.
We were together, so does that count as our alibi?
I was alone in my room.
Well, that sounds suspicious. I'm sorry, I was just having some tea.
Do
Continue.
I have to tell you? I was just wandering around the place.
I won't do the fake sipping thing, that also sounds suspicious.
Mr. Kagurine died around 7:30 a.m. So everyone besides Mr. Maeda, Miss Sora, Miss Mitsume, and Mr. Hashimoto must have been in the dining hall.
No, Yoriko wasn't there.
Yuko, where were you and what were you doing at the time?
I was also at the bell tower. I met Yuki and Sora there.
The bell tower? But that's the scene of the crime, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Sora and Yuki were there because of the message. Yoriko, what were you doing there?
I don't know.
What was I doing?
Kanade, just in case it comes up later, Yoriko technically witnessed Yuri's death with us.
Kind of.
You heard the body discovery announcement, right?
Fair.
It's only announced when 3 or more people find the body. Sora and I saw it first, and Yoriko a little while after.
Hold on, Mr. Maeda. You claim that Mr. Kagurine was hoisted by a rope?
What? Yeah?
Then it stands to reason that the two of you witnessed the culprit, no?
No.
What? Really?
What? Really?
If the Blacken dragged Mr. Kagurine with a rope up to the top of the bell tower, our two witnesses would have immediately followed afterwards in pursuit.
Correct.
I see. Because the only way down from the top of the tower is down the spiral staircase. Whether the culprit went down or Sora and Yuki went up, they would definitely bump into each other at some point somehow.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. We did get to the top of the bell tower, but Yoriko was the only one up there.
That means Yoriko's the culprit.
Wrong.
What?
That means that she's not the culprit.
Isn't it obvious? Like Emma said, the only way to climb up the tower is by using the stairs.
Alright, hold on.
And if you were there...
I'm gonna let you finish for a second, Kanade, but that face, this sprite... well, obvious, the smuggest looking sprite that I've ever seen.
You don't have a good excuse like Yuki and Sora. And you've been looking worried from the start. It's clear to everyone that Yoriko's the culprit. Don't you think so, sister?
I blindly agree with her.
Huh? But, Kanade, we just said that Ruko's a witness. Please just think for a moment. Yoriko doesn't have an alibi.
Correct.
And she has no reason to be in the bell tower if she's not related to the case.
Well, she must be related to the case somehow.
I guess. When you put it that way, Ruko does sound pretty suspicious.
Ruko?
Hey now! Who are you calling suspicious?
You?
Okay then, Yuko. Can you tell us why you were at the bell tower?
Yeah, I can't get over the fact that she's always winking and I never noticed.
You and Rara just told us that they were there because they got a message from Riri. Tell us why you were there, then we won't have a reason to doubt you.
I don't know. I don't know why I was there.
What? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Yoriko's situation sounds kind of complicated. I thought she was the culprit at first too, but after I heard her testimony, I'm not so sure that's right.
Good job! I'm proud of him.
Yoriko, calm down and tell us your side of the story.
As expected, it looks like everyone's suspicious of Yoruko. We need to discuss this some more to find out if she's really the culprit or not. She's not. It's impossible. You wanna know why? Because it's only the second non-stop debate. And they're accusing her, so it can't be her. Alright, Shinji's account. What did he say?
I went outside as soon as the Monocruise's door opened.
Okay.
So I could start my morning investigation before breakfast began. Then someone attacked me from behind, and I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was at the top of the bell tower next to Sora and Yuki.
Okay, that checks.
Do you have any proof?
Okay.
For example, someone who saw you leave early.
What? No, nobody saw me.
Wait, that's wrong.
Wait,
what?
Why did you go out so early anyway?
It's not me. I swear I'm not the culprit.
Okay. I gotta be fast on the uptake. Alright. I don't know if she's really the culprit. Alright, that's fine. I'll be fast on the uptake. I know, DK, skip it. Oh, also the single skip is real nice.
Do you have any proof? For example, someone who saw you leave early.
What?
Get that. Get that.
Saw me. No,
Get out.
that's wrong.
I lost some points for that. I missed a shot. I only lost 5 points. That's alright. We're okay with that. That's fine. Alright, save progress. No, don't save progress. We can just resume this thing.
Actually, there was someone who saw Yoriko leave early this morning.
Yoriko, who saw you?
Shinji,
you
said
saw her.
You saw her, right?
You saw her.
Oh, me? Well, yes, I definitely saw Yoriko leaving early this morning.
You guys sure do get up early, don't you? What were you guys doing?
Well, that guy was going to jog, right?
Hajime and I go jogging every morning, you know? I woke up early, so I was waiting for him in the corridor. Hajime was late because he had to use the bathroom, and I saw Yoriko leaving as soon as the Mono Crew's door opened up.
Right.
It's like I said, I'm not lying.
However, while we've proven that you left the ship early, can we really be certain that it was for the sake of investigation?
Fair.
What?
Doesn't that just make you even more suspicious? The murder did happen this morning, after all.
Fair.
And the culprit who killed Mr. Kagurine definitely wasn't in the monocruise this morning.
Also fair?
That's true, but...
So, does that mean Yoriko really is the culprit?
No.
Wait a minute. Why is everyone accusing me when I haven't done anything? I told you. I don't know how or why I was there. I lost consciousness right after I left.
Assuming what Yoriko says is the truth, the culprit attacked her and moved her to the bell tower to pin the blame on her?
But then there's no explanation for how Yuri was pulled to the top.
Oh, well, we'll get there.
Maybe the culprit was hiding somewhere at the top of the tower?
No.
No. We looked around for a bit, but it's an exposed area with almost no furniture around. It would be very difficult for someone to hide themselves up there.
If Yoriko can't explain herself, we have no choice but to assume she's the culprit.
No, we have a bunch of circumstantial evidence that sways her away from being the culprit.
Yeah. Wait, that's not true. I'm not.
Don't jump to conclusions. Yoriko isn't lying.
Good job.
Coco.
Listen to her voice. She's telling the truth.
I know you're a psychologist, Koro, but how can you be so sure?
She can read everyone here like a book except for me.
The method you're using to deduce Yoriko's alleged culpability is far too short-sighted.
Agreed.
Look at the bigger picture instead of focusing solely on her. Such as why Yuri was killed, perhaps.
Why was Yuri killed?
That's a good question.
Speaking of which, didn't Yuri lock himself in his room after telling the girls to kill him?
No.
It'd be awfully difficult to drag that guy out of his room.
Hardly. If he was serious, a girl would only need to knock, and Yuri would open his door.
Are you saying that the culprit is a girl? So, like, doesn't it all point to Ruko anyway?
I'm telling you, it's not me.
Wait, everyone. If the culprit were a man, wouldn't that make the crime that much more ingenious?
Correct.
The obvious answer would be that the culprit is a woman, but if it was a man,
that would just throw suspicion off of
they
them.
would be able to exclude themselves from the list of suspects for that reason.
But Yuri's the kind of guy who hates even being spoken to by another guy.
As long as Yuri had locked himself in his room, a man would have never been able to lure him out.
Huh. According to what Emma just said, a man could have been the culprit if Yuri hadn't been inside of his room. Yuri locked himself in his room for 2 days. He left for just a single occasion. And that occasion was... Hangman's flashback. Yeah, let's hear it. Okay. Ooh, what is this? You will be shown positions of words, find a match. Left corner. Cards in the middle of the screen. Cards will be initially shown for about 5 seconds, so you... Oh gosh. Okay, so it's a memory test. That's fine. You must fill it out from left to right. Okay, that's fine. Try to recall the letter that would fit the leftmost blank first. Okay, see, I got this. You're about to see the greatest of all time. Watch me work. You will receive a penalty to your score. I'm not gonna get any penalties. Time limit? Don't worry about that. 9 stop debate. Good job. Focus completely. It's fine. Watch me work. I hope. Party. So I need the A and the Y. Oh, I have to match them. That's right. Okay. Well. Okay. A. Go. Okay. I can see how that could be difficult. I can see for longer words that could be a pain. That's fine. We'll live. Yeah, no penalty. I told you guys. 100%. Hundo P. That's what they call me. Alright, give me this. Save it right there. Let's go back into this class trial.
The party last night.
That's right.
Yuri was at that party, wasn't he? Didn't he drink late into the night too?
True.
Oh, yeah, he was there.
So then if someone attacked Yuri right after the party ended, it could have easily been a man.
Yes, that's true.
You're taking that into account now? Quick-witted bunch, aren't you?
He was like, well, he already knew.
Asshole! You're not even participating in the discussion.
Yes, he is. He's making sly remarks and insulting us all. That's what I like to hear.
Do you want me to help? That'll be a million crows. I'll figure this all out for you then.
Yo, I don't have a million crows, but if I did, I would give it to you.
Shut up, you Scrooge.
McDuck?
If Sora's right, a man really could have attacked Yuri.
Correct.
But that's no reason to rule out a girl as a culprit.
That's fair.
Of course. She said that the culprit could be a man, not that they couldn't be a woman.
Correct.
For a man like Mr. Kagurine, the idea of him giving up his life to a woman that approached him during the festivities is all too plausible.
In fact, I would say it would be even more ingenious that if a woman did it, put a woman at the top of the place to put the blame on a man, even though the culprit is really a woman. I think that would be even more ingenious.
Yeah, but I'm curious about something. The party was last night, right? Yuri died this morning.
Correct.
If the culprit attacked Yuri after the party, wouldn't that mean the culprit was inside the Mono Cruise during nighttime?
Also, it comes to circumstance that Yuri has no idea who did this to him, so he must have been knocked the heck out while someone put hooks in his legs.
The Mono Cruise doors lock after 10 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah. If the party was last night and the murder happened this morning, there's a huge gap of time missing between them.
Correct.
So the question is, if a man really did attack Riri after the party, what was he doing until morning?
Sleeping?
But didn't all the people who were drinking late into the night return to the monocruise before 10 p.m.?
Also, isn't it against the rules to sleep outside of the monocruise?
That's... I can't really remember.
Oh.
Probably. I was the only sober one there.
Which also makes you look suspicious.
Although Yuri was late, he told me he'd be stopping by the bathroom.
I get it. That was when somebody kidnapped Rin then.
No, that doesn't make sense,
Rin.
because the murder happened at the bell tower just after the morning announcement.
Are you using all the nicknames that Setsuka's using? That's adorable. No, that doesn't make sense.
The culprit would have been locked inside the monocruise. They wouldn't have had any time to prepare for the murder.
At first I thought she was just saying Ruko because she was close to Yoruko, but she's using all the nicknames that Setsuka came up with.
You're assuming things again.
Fair.
There's no rule that says you have to stay inside the monocruise during nighttime.
Doesn't it?
What? But the rules?
State that the monocruise doors close at 10 p.m. and that sleeping outside the dorms is not allowed. That's all.
But if Yuri was knocked out outside, unless he kept him in his room.
If the culprit never boarded the monocruise, they would be free to wander the island after the door was locked.
But they would have to stay up all night, wouldn't
If
they?
they stayed up all night, they wouldn't be breaking any rules.
Being outside the monocruise at night isn't a rule violation? Is that true?
Not technically, I guess.
Yes, I've done it before.
Really?
I wondered what would happen if I slept during the day and stayed out all night outside, and nothing happened. The doors opened in the morning, and I was able to board the monocruise as usual.
You've been doing some real good. You look at. As the co-leader of Team Xtreme, yo, I'm proud of her.
But didn't Monocro say that monsters would be wandering the island at night? You still could have been injured, Coco.
I was fine. I stayed on the main roads and never ran into any sort of monster. Although, I do wonder if something may be hidden in the forest.
If Kokoro is telling the truth, it's possible that Yuri never re-entered the monocruise last night.
Huh.
According to Yoriko, he did return, just much later than everyone else. But isn't it possible that he was attacked and then placed in the bell tower until this morning?
Yes.
According to that theory, the culprit is one of the people who were drinking late into the night. What do you think, Yoriko? You're one of the people who stayed behind, aren't you?
You're really coming for her.
Well, that's true. But it wasn't me. I got back to the monocruise with everyone else.
I don't know if there's any proof of that. Well, there is proof of that, isn't there? Technically. Because you ran. Well, I guess you running out afterwards isn't
About
really.
that. None of us were exactly sober, so we don't really remember that. Sorry, Yuko.
Gosh darn it.
What?
They were all drunk as skunks.
Indeed. And none of them can recall a thing. Speaking of which, I don't recall seeing any alcohol during the preparations for the party.
Correct.
Oh, you're right.
Where did it come from?
And yet, there was alcohol abound in the beverages by the time the party started. I believe this is no mere coincidence.
So someone planned this from the get-go.
Are you saying that the culprit put alcohol in the drinks in order to get everyone drunk and fog up their memories?
Wait, isn't it possible that someone impulsively committed a murder because they were under the influence at the time?
Maybe.
No. You can tell by looking at the crime scene that someone put a great deal of thought into this murder.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It doesn't fit an intoxicated cover-up.
If the culprit brought the alcohol, doesn't that mean they helped organize the party?
Maybe. Yeah, because they would have to be the ones who knew about it.
You, Ra-Ra, Mac, Yuko, Mikado, and myself.
Okay.
Just the 6 of us.
Yoriko is nothing but suspicious.
It's true. So then it's gotta be someone who stayed behind, and it has to be someone who helped plan the party.
So, the culprit's someone that helped with the party and stayed out late last night.
Yes.
And they would have to be sober. That's what you're saying?
Hey, wait a second. The only person who wasn't drinking last night was Yoriko. She said she'd be chaperoning Dry, since we had to get back by 10 p.m.
Fair.
No, I mean, that's true, but...
That's...
The evidence all lines up.
But there's evidence that we haven't used.
Can you explain what happened in more detail? We just want to believe you.
You're not listening to me.
This makes you look
Taking
suspicious.
this a little too far. Look, I'm innocent. To be accused as the culprit because of a series of coincidences. I can still defend myself, you know? Listen to me before you start talking.
Fair. Oh, we're about to do this. Rebuttal showdown, another... Yeah, let's hear it. Rebuttal showdown, you gotta shoot down your arguments. You gotta get, okay, 5 lanes in the center of the screen. That's okay. Switch lanes with the left and right, press confirm. These arguments will disappear in about 3 seconds. And inflict damage, you have to shoot them. Ooh, interesting. Alright, that's a good way to do it, actually. Focus gauge will take damage, deduct points. On the other hand, will move to the left if you shoot them correctly. Double damage if your gauge is in the opponent's favor. Do your best not to miss any of them. Sora will have an argument afterwards. The thing will return to its initial thing. Like in non-stop debate, you can refute the yellow ones. Cool. Instead of truth bullets, you'll get truth arrows. Alright, cool. Press shift to change the arrow. S to equip the current... Oh. So I gotta hit S to... Interesting. Once you equip an arrow, the arrow will turn red. You'll not be able to change truth arrows. That's interesting. S again to remove the equipped truth arrow. Oh, that's... Ooh, this is interesting. Alright. If you want to shoot ordinary arrows, then remember to move the truth arrow first. Finally, to view a list of all the clues, click A. Do your best. And don't lose. We like to see that. Alright. I got this. First time. Okay, we just got the 1. That's fine. And I know I have to equip it with us. Alright.
I know I have to accede to your unjust accusation.
Oh, I missed one.
But if I'm really the culprit, do you really think that I'd go about it this way? Like you said, Yuri would have done anything for a woman.
No. Well, okay, right there. We got that one.
There's no reason for
right in the middle.
to wait until the
Back
party to kill
head back to
him
the middle,
in
back
a
1.
manner.
We'll shoot that. Oh, I gotta click S.
The culprit may have waited until
probably also good that I didn't do
plan
that.
Involving the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said before, they used it to dull everyone's memories so they could easily get away with their plan.
What is his account?
The
He
fact
saw
that
you with a
Yuri
rope.
attended the party in itself could indicate that he was working with the culprit.
Cool.
So you're just saying that I would do something as stupid as intentionally going to the party?
Let's focus.
If I was the culprit, I wouldn't go about it that way. If you two weren't at the tower with me, you wouldn't be suspecting me. Is that it? Just because of that, you're suspecting me.
Let me double check what his is just the she came out with a rope, right? Alright, cool. Okay.
It's completely unfair.
Alright, well, that was terrible. Okay, that was so bad. There was the guy. Okay, that's fine.
You know I
I'll
have
live.
to proceed
Shoot that. Wait, what?
Oh,
did I have the... Oh, I have the red one equipped. Ah! That's why I'm doing so terribly. Let's get back here. Okay, great.
There's no reason for me to wait until the party to kill him in such a complicated manner.
That's fine. Look at that. See, I'm getting used to the controls. I just failed those so that I could get these sweet combos. Look at that 14 combo. You never seen anything like that. Better be perfect this time around.
Everyone's memories so they could easily get away with their plan.
I'm gonna get like no points from this one. It is going to be terrible. Look at me shoot in the background. Okay.
So you're just saying that I would do something as stupid as intentionally going to the party? If I was the culprit, I wouldn't go about it that way. If you two weren't at the tower with me, you wouldn't be suspecting me. Is that how it is? Just because of that, you're suspecting me.
There we go. Alright, see, look, perfect. It was fine. See how many points I got for that. Remember, we get 100 points, and then we only lost. Great. Yeah, let's save after that. Still resume. Cool, right?
It's not just that, Yoriko. Shobai told me that he saw you going to the bell tower this morning.
Yeah,
What?
Yep.
He also said you were holding a long rope in your hand.
A rope? The same rope that Rinrin was tied up with?
Shobai, you were telling the truth, right?
Huh? I was. At the time, I didn't know that woman would be so important to the case.
Fair.
I was wondering what she was planning to do with something like that. Now that I think about it, that was a really important piece of evidence.
Wait, he's lying! Shobai isn't telling the truth!
I think he might be.
He really was attacked by someone as soon as I left the Mono Cruise. He's trying to slander me. He's the culprit. Even if you say that.
Yeah, all the evidence is stacked against you.
Correct.
It's almost undeniable.
Almost.
Or maybe you're just an idiot, Yoriko.
Whoa.
What? Why are you all accusing me? Why me?
Mr. Hashimoto's testimony is the most damning thing here. How do you plan to defend yourself against that?
Yuko, are you really the culprit?
Although it would be wise if she really were the culprit to just leave the things that were there, like the anesthetics.
Wait, Shobai really is lying.
What? Really?
What?
Sora, did Shobai mention when he saw Yoriko leave?
That's... Yoriko left right after the morning announcement, so wouldn't that be around 7 a.m.?
I was on the second floor of the library at the time, and I saw Shobai climbing the stairs from the second to the third floor. Shobai, even if you did see Yoriko leave, unless you knew her destination beforehand, you'd have trouble figuring out she was headed for the bell tower.
And didn't you say you saw Yoriko holding a rope?
Shobai, were you lying to me?
Oh my gosh.
So you got me out.
Why?
Sorry about that, but I wanted to test you all. Test us?
Why?
Like I said, if you clear the class trial for me, I'm good. I was testing whether you could really do it without my interference.
So you interfered?
What? You gotta be joking!
You remember when a line? You remember when you, Iroha, you crossed this line right here? You're like right here. You super crossed the boy.
Just a little bit of perjury, really. I didn't think the psychologist would realize.
No, she already knows who did
Well,
it.
whatever. I'm counting this as a win.
You asshole! What the hell are you doing?
Just
settle down, Mr. Kasai. Violence is against the school rules.
Well, he didn't touch him. He's just yelling at him. This is Team Xtreme we're talking about. We break all the rules.
Calm down, Shin. You can beat him up after we get out of here.
No, you can't.
That
It's still
proves
against
my
the
innocence,
rules.
right? Shobai's the one who lied. He's even more suspicious than I am.
No, I think he's still
I
innocent.
don't know. His testimony might be false, but you're still the most likely suspect.
But we're being cruel to Yoriko, aren't we? We should talk about this some more.
Correct.
No, Ruko's definitely the killer.
Hibiki.
I don't want to suspect my friends. I want to believe everyone instead.
Okay.
Well, this is rather complicated, isn't it? We seem to be split right down the middle.
That's a trigger word.
If that's the case, let's decide with a proper debate. Please remain calm as your seats are rearranged.
I'm sorry? Whether Yoruko's the killer or not. We have to discuss this even more. Scrum debate. Alright. Please. Usually a free-for-all. Please. Oh, wait, Team Solar and Lunar? That's kind of cute. Yeah. Keyword. I got this. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I said that last time. but I'm not doomed. And something. Two teams will have a final push. Press the button displayed on the. Okay. Yep, this is exactly how it works. I really wish. Can I use my controller for this? Nope, I've tested that every single time. Full counter. Oh, we'll live. I'm a master. Please, I'm a master. A true master of this game. Watch me work. Maybe. Team Lunar. And Team Solar. Begin! Alright, what are my things? She's the culprit. She's not the culprit. Alright.
Yotoko is the only one that went to the party and
Give me
This
this.
one's mine. We still need to figure out if the party is even relevant to the case.
Get him. So we have drunk food.
Knowing Yuri, the killer has to be a woman.
Get him.
We've already established that the murder could have been committed by either a man or a woman.
Ruko's the only one with a super suspicious alibi.
Get her. Get him.
Yotoko, Kokoro and Shobai don't even have alibis.
True.
Why are you accusing me?
Got him.
But Yotoko,
Food.
was she
Get
the
out of
only
here.
one who handled the food at the party?
Yotoko was not the only one who handled the food at the party.
Absolutely not.
She could have taken advantage of the fact that we were drunk to forge
Get
her
'em.
alibi.
Yoruko wasn't the only one that wasn't drunk. So shouldn't we suspect the others too?
Yes. Alright.
Yotoko is our only suspect, so there's nothing else we can do.
Setsuka, we haven't even talked about the possibility of another suspect besides Yuko.
Fair. Alright, what button do you want me to press? Z? Oh gosh. A? Z. X. A. Gosh, that's shift. X. Z. That's fine, we'll live. S. Well, that's out of nowhere. How could you? I had no idea I was gonna have to press Z and X. I had my WASD set. I was ready for WASD and out of nowhere they were like, boom. Dope. Perfect. Wasn't even worried. Save the progress. Save it twice. Cause that's nice. Alright.
It seems that a conclusion has continued to evade us.
Correct.
At any rate, it's wrong to conclude that Yotoko's the killer when there's still so many unanswered questions.
Yeah, why would you not just discuss more?
We need to discuss this some more.
Exactly.
Sora.
Okay. I don't want to doubt my friends any longer either. Let's drop the
We're gonna have to
subject
doubt
of the culprit
someone.
and discuss some other things first.
Wait, so we're back to square one?
Yeah, we shouldn't have left square
Good
one.
thinking. Unlike a regular trial, a single misstep will result in tragedy.
Yes.
We need to keep discussing this until we reach a decisive conclusion.
I mean, Kokoro, don't you know who the culprit is? Can't you just tell us so we can call it a day?
No.
You all currently believe Yotoko is the culprit. Would you even be able to accept it if I named someone else?
Fair.
So you don't believe Miss Kabuya is the culprit?
I know she's not.
Alright, so instead of who they are, let's talk about how the culprit did it.
Well, she already told us that. Let's be frank. If Kokoro said that's not them, right now I believe that's not them.
How they did
She
it?
innocent. How
We're
they
not
did it.
sure whether the culprit attacked Riri this morning or after the party.
Correct.
Did you forget what the culprit did before they killed Riri?
Before they killed her. She's talking about the object that was attached to Yuri's body. That object would be the hook with a rope.
Got it. Are you talking about the hook that was embedded in Yuri's calf?
Yes.
Yeah, you said it was already embedded when you first saw him, right?
Correct.
Even if Riri was drunk, he wouldn't have just stayed still while the culprit stuck that thing into his leg.
Fair.
They would have had to restrain him by any means possible.
So you're saying we should discuss how the culprit went about doing that?
How the culprit restrained Yuri. We have to figure this out. How? 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 I guess you would assume that it's the,
We might have all been
Wait, how do
plastered,
I
but
switch these again?
Riri wouldn't
Oh,
have
that's
just
not what
stayed
I
still
wanted to
while
do.
someone stuck a
The
hook
shift?
into him.
Yeah, give me those.
Maybe they stunned him by hitting him with a blunt weapon?
No.
No. they wouldn't risk Yuri dying right there.
Regardless, it's certain that the culprit did something to immobilize Yuri's body.
Perhaps he was so drunk that he passed out. Wait, no, that's dumb. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, that's not the dumbest thing that was said. Let's think about what we did there. Well, I mean,
We
it's
might
gotta
have
be
all
this.
been plastered, but
No, that's wrong. You were.
Riri wouldn't have just stayed still while someone stuck.
Cool.
Maybe they stunned him by hitting him with a blunt weapon?
No, they wouldn't risk Yuri dying right there.
Regardless, it's certain that the culprit did something to immobilize Yuri's body.
I mean, that's true too.
Perhaps he was so drunk
What other
that he
bullets do I
passed
have?
out.
That's not what I wanted. Cancel. The spiral
Wait,
stair.
no,
Yeah, no,
that's
it's
dumb.
gotta be this.
Sorry.
Wait, what is her account? Someone left him alone. What is her account? Verbatim. Recap of the events just before nighttime. He was alone. It's possible. Okay, yeah, no, it's gotta be
We
this.
might have all
What do I
been
want?
plastered, but
No, that's wrong.
Riri
Okay, never
wouldn't have
mind.
just stayed still while
I
someone
also
stuck.
missed.
Maybe they stunned him by
No, that's
hitting him with a
wrong.
blunt weapon?
Okay, no, that's just incorrect.
No, they wouldn't risk Yuri dying
Skip
right
that.
Regardless, it's
Yeah.
certain that the culprit did something to
Alright.
immobilize Yuri's body.
Perhaps he was so.
Interesting.
Wait, no, that's
Is this
dumb. I'm sorry.
not the solution?
We might have all been plastered,
What else
but
do I have? Spiral staircase?
Riri wouldn't. Someone
No, I
stuck
didn't want
a
to do
hook
that.
into him.
Oops.
Maybe they stunned him by hitting him with a blunt weapon? No, that's wrong!
So I just missed it every time. Oh. Okay. That's fine. I just missed a bunch. That's fine.
I have evidence that the culprit didn't use such a straightforward method, Hibiki.
Correct.
We found traces of an anesthetic solution on the floor of the bell tower.
Anesthetic solution?
Yes.
Kanade told me that it's similar to the kind used in the operating room during major surgeries.
Right, you're the one who told us this.
Yes, you can get some from the infirmary.
Its presence at the bell tower leaves no doubt that the culprit used the anesthetic to subdue Mr. Kagurine.
Maybe.
Wait, do you think that's the same thing the culprit used when they attacked me?
Maybe. But that's besides the point, Yotoko. So be quiet.
Oh my gosh.
Fine.
And there's one more thing I know about the anesthetic.
The other thing I learned is that... Can I just present it? No, I want her account.
Got it! Kanade went to the infirmary after finding the anesthetic, and...
And?
She discovered that a single syringe had disappeared.
Interesting.
A syringe?
Yes. You can use that particular syringe to conveniently calculate the sedation time using the scale on the barrel.
That's great and all, but how do you know all this?
Go on.
I watch a lot of medical dramas. Is there a problem?
I'm not saying there's a problem, but...
There's a
No one
problem.
found a syringe or anything like that while investigating, right? That means...
The culprit still has the syringe with them.
Maybe.
Should we frisk everyone here?
I doubt they'd be idiotic enough to have it on their person. But we can be sure that they hid it somewhere.
Fair.
If they used a syringe with an anesthetic solution, they could subdue Yuri even if he wasn't drunk.
Correct.
There's one thing that's really bothering me. When Sora and I last saw Yuri, he seemed convinced a woman was trying to take his life. Saying things like, not everyone gets to be killed by a cute classmate, and being born a man and achieving my dream.
Fair.
He was about to die?
So if he said that, does that make the culprit a woman after all?
No?
The thing that's bothering me is that Yuri told all of us that he would cooperate with the female culprit. But they restrained him and waited until he was drunk. If the culprit was a female, that wouldn't be necessary.
Fair.
That's what I've been saying since the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. It'd just create more evidence, right?
Fair.
Let's review. Assuming the culprit is male, he would only be able to target Yuri after yesterday's party.
Yes.
We still have no idea what happened before nighttime, though.
Before night, yes.
Assuming the culprit is female, she would be able to get to Yuri at any time inside the monocruise.
Yes.
However, she wouldn't have had enough time to prepare for the crime in the morning. Like the other scenario, we still have no idea what happened before nighttime.
Good recap.
About what happened before nighttime.
Yes.
Doesn't it seem possible that the culprit's preparations took place during that time?
Yes.
What?
Like Kokoro said, Anyone can stay outside the monocruise at night using the loophole in the rules.
Loopholes.
We can't explain how the culprit prepared for their crime during the short time frame in the morning, so
Right.
we can just assume by default that it took place at night.
That's almost 9 hours. Would it really take them that long to prepare for the murder?
No.
I'm not sure. They just need to prepare the hooks, the rope, the anesthetic, the wires, and that's all, I think.
That's a lot.
Wait, none of you can possibly think that the culprit simply dragged Yuri up with just a rope, do you?
Huh?
I did think something was amiss when you began accusing Yotoko.
Oh.
You've been mistaken from the beginning.
What?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
The
about?
culprit didn't just drop Yuri to his death after dragging him up from the bell tower.
Then, what else did they do?
Oh, didn't just. Okay.
I see. It was so obvious that I almost missed it. In hindsight, it's clear.
Alright, Kanade, go ahead.
Think. Yuri was short, but it's physically impossible for anyone to drag him hundreds of feet up to the bell tower. I doubt even Shinji could do it.
Really? If you used a lever of sorts, it might be possible.
Yes, it's possible. However, we were wrong in our initial assumption that the culprit was the one who pulled Yuri up.
What?
Our initial assumption was wrong?
Still could be the culprit.
So what? What's the problem?
The culprit didn't pull Yuri up. They moved Yuri using another method. But what method did they use? I've definitely seen something that can solve
Allow
this.
me to remedy the situation.
Okay.
Kanade's explanation is correct. Think, Sora. You've seen the evidence too.
Have I?
I can remind you if you don't remember.
Oh yeah, please, help me. Logic refresh. Okay, sure. Da-da-da-da-da. Someone supports your argument. We'll give you hints to help. Oh, that's dope! 5 similar lines. There are 5 lines similar to the Rebuttal Showdown. Up and downs. They will say arguments point by point, and your task is to avoid contact with their white statements. You will suffer damage when the midpoint of a comment passes through. Oh. Interesting. On the other hand, blue truth bullets appear in the midst of comments that should be collected. Can be collected and the midpoint passes through the judgment line. It'll be shown in the lower left corner. Unlike white task, you will take damage for failing to collect them instead. Okay. You will proceed to the next step if you collect all of them. And then you must choose. Okay. Alright, cool. I'll live. I hope. So I'm pressing up and down.
Yuri was dragged to the top
I
of the
see.
tower at a great speed. This is an impossible feat for a regular person to
Smash
accomplish.
that.
How was the culprit able to achieve this?
Give me this.
The speed in which Yuri was dragged up indicates something was pulling him down from the other side, don't you
Oh, there was
think?
just nothing on that line,
And you didn't find anyone on the top of the bell tower. So therefore, you can figure this out for yourself, can't you?
Here.
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's what I assumed was the thing, but she worded it kind of weird. They're like, what else did they do? And I was like, you mean they put themselves down?
It's possible that Yuri wasn't dragged up by the culprit. It's more logical to think that he was pulled up in reaction to something else.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
There was a hook stuck in Yuri's calf, which was attached to a long rope.
Yes.
We thought that someone pulled Yuri up by that rope, but if you think about it, it's physically impossible for someone to do that on their own.
Yes.
Huh? Are you sure?
Yes.
Furthermore, I discovered something with Setsuka earlier.
A life jacket.
Oh, you're talking about the life jacket, aren't you?
That's right.
Yes, someone had left it hidden outside of the bell tower. We found the same kind of hook that was stuck in Yuri's calf embedded into the life jacket.
Mhm.
And that hook was attached to a rope. However, the end was cut off.
So, what does that mean?
Oh,
So in other words, Yuri was connected to the life jacket by the hooked end of the rope.
Yes.
If the culprit jumped down from the bell tower while wearing the life jacket, Yuri would be pulled by the other end.
Correct.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
That's right. That's a law of physics.
Exactly. That's
Thanks,
what the
Newton.
culprit did. Wait, I don't get it. So why was Ruko at the top of the bell tower?
As a scapegoat.
Well, according to Yoriko, she was attacked and found herself unconscious, and then awoke at the top of the bell tower.
That did happen.
When Yuki and I met Yuri on the first floor, the culprit must have been waiting for us at the top of the bell tower, along with the unconscious Yoriko, of course.
That explains why Miss Kaguya was the only one there when Miss Sora and Mr. Maeda arrived.
Yes, and she was also knocked out when we found her, so...
It was a red herring. The real culprit couldn't have been there. After all, they were already outside the bell tower when Mr. Kagurine was pulled up.
Correct.
It makes sense in theory, but I don't think he'd be able to be pulled up so easily.
What do you mean?
Why not?
There's tons of other factors involved, like friction and whatnot.
Sora, do you remember the bell ringing as Yuri was being pulled up?
Yeah.
Yes, and now I think I know why.
Yuri was pulled up as the culprit jumped down and his body must have hit the bell. And this evidence proves it. Yeah, I figured that was the case. So where's the bell? Yeah, marks on the bell.
The culprit threaded the rope through the hanging bell and used it as a fulcrum.
Fulcrum, that's a top tier word.
I can't draw that well, but I'll draw you a picture to illustrate.
From on what?
May I borrow your sketchbook?
Oh, that's nice. For some reason I was gonna say, well, since Nikkei is right next to you, you could just steal his pen and pad, but I guess that makes more sense.
This is how the culprit did it.
That's some top-notch art.
As you all know, the hole in the top of the bell is very small. Small enough that the hook can't pass through it. I suspect that the culprit attached the hooks after first threading the rope through the hole.
That's really high up. How is that even possible? Oh, well, I get it, but Sora, your drawings could use some improvement.
Now's not the time. Iroha, calm down.
Wait, how did the culprit adjust the length of the rope?
Good question.
It sounds simple in theory, but they could have easily fallen to their death if they'd miscalculated.
It's a good question.
I believe they practiced it beforehand.
That's why he had 2 hooks.
If you look at the marks on the bell, they don't look shallow enough to have been made by a single attempt.
That's why. Okay, now I'm completely caught up. I'm good. I know what happens
Are you
now.
proposing that the culprit practiced this act many times before committing the actual crime?
No, just one other time.
Yes.
Or
the hooks
maybe
that
many.
were connected to Yuri couldn't have passed through the hole in the bell, so the culprit wouldn't fall. The marks on the bell are probably from the friction caused by the rope, and also from the metal hooks scraping against the bell. After the culprit used the correct rope length to reach the surface, they could cut the end of the rope attached to the life jacket, and Yuri would fall to the ground due to the shifting weight and balance. This is the truth of the crime scene that Yuki and I witnessed.
Yep.
Wait a moment. Even if the culprit accounted for the length of the rope, the bell tower is far too tall.
And?
If they fell while hanging from just a life jacket with a hook, the force from the landing would dislocate their shoulders.
Would it? Yeah, they probably would have been hurt. It's as Kanai says, the culprit would have been severely injured without anything to cushion the impact. Something to cushion the impact. Is that why the culprit installed that object? That object is. Clearly it is. As a master of this case, they installed the... cushion. Kanai's account. Yoruka's account. The fake, that's a lie, installed what? Marks on the ball, spiral staircase. The broken wires to stop the, okay.
Got it.
Yeah. To slow them
Earlier,
down.
Emma was wondering why the culprit would go through all the trouble of setting up those wires.
To protect themselves.
The answer to Kanadi's question is probably the broken wires.
The broken wires?
Yuri was cut by the wires as he was dragged up at a high speed. The resulting friction in the process may have had the effect of cushioning the impact.
Yes.
Now I get it. The wires weren't meant to kill Yuri. but rather to lessen the impact of the fall.
Yes.
This explains why the culprit went through the tedious work of setting up those wires.
That's smart.
Without a doubt.
That's really low-key
bothering
brilliant.
me.
Yeah, what's good?
If the wires were sharp enough to slice through flesh, why didn't they cut the rope? If it really was that sharp, it should have cut the rope attached to Yuri too.
That rope was made from special materials. It's a tough one from the mart that won't break unless you carefully cut through its padding. I thought it was cool, so I took note of it.
Cool.
I didn't expect it to be used in a murder, though.
So, Ruko's not the culprit?
No. Because she was obviously the culprit, she's not the culprit. Tabiki, that's rule 101 of any Danganronpa.
That's what I've been telling you from the start. I'm a victim here too.
That's too bad.
What? What do you mean that's too bad?
Now we have to suspect everyone besides you as the culprit.
Fair.
How are we
That is
supposed
kinda
to
bad.
narrow it down to the culprit now?
I see. So we're back at the start?
Not quite. We have one person, or I guess really 3 people
Not
ruled out.
really. We did learn something from the previous discussion. The culprit should have been outside the monocruise during nighttime after they kidnapped Yuri.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? How do you know that?
Think about it. If the culprit was able to do test runs to adjust the rope's length exactly as they needed,
Then they needed the
then
entire
they
time.
must have had
then.
enough time to do so.
Hmm.
Being outside during nighttime with
9
no one
hours.
else but Yuri gives the culprit plenty of time to run trials without anyone finding out.
Good point. Someone surely would have noticed the culprit if he was doing trial runs during daytime.
Correct. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just testing this out, making sure, you know.
Furthermore, there was a prevailing misconception that no one could exit the monocruise during nighttime.
Oh, you can exit it?
I'm sure the culprit thought there would be a good time to test their plan.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we still held that belief until now when people like Kokoro already knew that wasn't the case.
Well, I just stayed up all night once.
Based on the previous discussion, we can infer that the culprit is a man. As we already know, a woman would have no reason to use such difficult methods.
Fair.
It's true that Mr. Kagurine's death would be automatically attributed to a woman due to his previous outburst.
Makes him an easier target.
So, should a man have committed the crime, the very act of murder itself would become his alibi. A rather clever ploy, I must admit.
Yeah?
So now that we know that, we can just narrow it down from all the guys here, right?
Yeah.
In that case, we already know the culprit. It's either Mikado or Shobai.
It's probably neither of them.
Shobai doesn't have an alibi, and Mikado's the mastermind.
No, we have to assume that he's just a regular
Please do
student.
not forget my sincere wish for a class trial free of prejudice.
Correct.
It should be unquestionably clear that I am giving it my all to unveil the truth.
On the other hand,
Huh? Shobai, were you asleep this whole time?
Still not over.
no, it's not.
You must be crazy. Our lives are at stake right now, and you just dozed off?
Nah, he trusts us.
Hey, you've got all you need. I know the whole story, but you guys don't need my help to figure it out.
You know the whole thing
I
too?
haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately. Wake me up when it's
Don't
over.
do that. That also makes you look suspicious.
He's insane!
Anyways, Shobai or Mikado being the culprit seems unlikely, big bro. The culprit must have stayed late at the party last night to kidnap Yuri, but neither Mikado or Shobai were included in that group.
Correct.
But you know, can't Mikado use magic?
No, he sealed
I've
it.
seen him flying around like nothing. Kidnapping Yuri with those abilities would be a piece of cake.
He sealed it.
Nox's second law.
What?
All supernatural and preternatural agencies are ruled out as a matter of course.
What the heck is that?
What?
An absolute code of logic in detective fiction that cannot be violated.
Okay.
It forbids supernatural or unrealistic phenomena from interfering with murders.
Alright, I buy that. You know what? I got it. Nox's second law. I believe that.
Oh, I know that! Isn't it from Umineko when they cry?
I give you my most sincere, emphatic vow that I do not use my magic for matters relating to murder cases.
Alright.
I'm not sure I get it, but how can you be so sure? Do you really think we'd ever believe the word of the mastermind?
No, I believe him.
Seems I am left with little choice. Monaco, I humbly request that you add a new rule. Mikado Sanoji cannot use magic for any purpose relating to a murder case.
Okay.
Are you sure about that rule?
Absolutely. I've already resolved to seal my magic, and its very existence seems to be a hindrance to the natural progression of this trial.
That's fair.
I wish to use this opportunity to clarify my position within this killing game.
Very well. The regulations will be updated once the trial is over.
But only once the trial is over.
Mikado Sennoji cannot use magic for any purpose relating to a murder case. As a reminder, the penalty will be execution should you fail to comply.
I understand completely. You have my deepest gratitude.
Okay.
So Mikado can't be the culprit.
I mean, he could. It's
Why
after
are
this
you
is.
trying to make this problem harder than it is?
Lamau.
The answer is already out. There's a suspicious individual who satisfies every condition.
She's not wrong.
Huh?
She's not.
You spoke about the conditions to be the culprit beforehand. Think it over. The individual you referred to is in plain sight.
Yes. The
The
conditions to be the
conditions
culprit.
that we brought up were...
The culprit was among those who stayed late at yesterday's party.
Correct.
The culprit was also part of the group that prepared the party.
Correct.
Additionally, we figured out that the culprit is a man while discussing the life vest and the murder rehearsals.
Correct. And when we have those three, Setsuka, Hajime, Shinji, Yuri, Emma, Yoruko. So we only need to worry about Hajime, Shinji, and not Yuri because he's dead. The group that prepared the party were Setsuka, Hajime, Yuki, Mikado, Yoruko, and myself. And the culprit could be... Alright. Sorry, homie.
It can only be you.
Yeah.
Was it you? Hajime Nakanochi.
Oh, suspended. What? Oh, I'm gonna finish. Oh, we get to... Is there usually a point to just, like, do other... Okay. That's fine. I mean, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going after I pause real quick. Alright, let's go. I'm ready. I'm hyped for this. Team Extreme is all safe. Hajime, you're not in Team Extreme.
Was it you, Hajime?
What?
Was it?
Wait a minute, Sora. You think Hajime's the culprit?
Yeah.
There's nobody aside from Hajime that meets all the conditions to be the culprit. He helped prepare the party and stayed late to drink with Yuri. He's the only one who was in both groups, and is a man as well.
Precisely. I have been suspecting Hajime since the beginning.
Huh.
How'd you know right off the bat?
She read the room.
You will remember my question at the start of the investigation. I asked, how do you feel about this murder?
Ah, yes. But how is that relevant?
I can figure out whether a person is lying or not just by hearing them talk.
What? So you knew Hajime was the culprit just from that one question?
Yep.
Miss Mitsume, that sounds like an even more magical ability than my own spells.
Well, don't make it against the
I
rules.
cannot be completely sure of my deduction, naturally. But were I to narrow down my suspects, however, I can figure out the answer by simply comparing the evidence to each suspect. From that, my deduction is that the culprit is Hajime Makunochi.
Alright, well, lock it in. We're good. Yeah, don't defend yourself. It's fine.
Yuri's murderer. The person that attacked me. It was all him?
Hey, hold on a damn second. Why am I the culprit all of a sudden?
Well, I mean, you fit the alibi.
Don't you remember?
You
I may
fit the
fit the
bill.
bill, but that doesn't change the fact that I was drunk.
Were you?
The only person who wasn't drunk was Yoruko. Don't tell me you all forgot about that.
Yeah, that's true, but...
Yoruko was the only sober person at the party, and even she agrees I was drunk. How could I possibly have killed Yuri? You all said the culprit made serious preparations. Stuff like trial runs. Wouldn't that be impossible to do if you're drunk? Are you guys really accusing me as the culprit? Just because I fit your little conditions?
Little conditions? Alright, well, it's you, homie.
Because if you are, I'm about to get really mad.
Now, if we assume Hajime is the culprit, every piece fits right into place. I suppose we should discuss just how those pieces fit in the next discussion. Alright, easy peasy. Time to bring this home. Kanadi's account, leftover bottles. You'll love to see it.
The culprit couldn't have planned out their crimes while drunk.
That's right.
So they must have been someone who didn't consume alcohol.
Good night. Oh, well, I guess I should have continued to look at things. Alright, my bad. Alright, well, let's listen to what everyone has to
planned
say.
out their crimes while drunk.
At least I hit
must
it.
have been someone who didn't consume alcohol.
Right. There's no way Hajime's the culprit.
Correct.
Shinji, please make judgments based on logic, not your friendship.
Fair.
There's plenty of reasons why Hajime is suspicious.
No matter how suspicious I am, I couldn't have done anything while I was drunk.
True.
Ask Yotoko and check yourself.
Yeah.
What Hajime just said is true.
He was totally drunk.
Including Hajime, everyone who stayed to enjoy the party last night were completely drunk.
Okay.
Except me, of course.
Right.
Are you sure about that? Did you somehow check their blood alcohol content?
Interesting.
You do know you can tell if someone's drunk without checking that, right?
No, you can't tell, apparently. Alright, okay. Now let's hit these leftovers.
So they must have been
someone who didn't. Nope.
Shinji, there's
Nope.
No matter how.
Nope.
Ask Yotoko.
Nope.
What Hajime just said is true.
Should be
Including
about
Hajime,
right
everyone
there.
who stayed to enjoy the party last night were completely drunk.
No, that's wrong.
That's right. I mean, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. Correct. Alright, well, we missed. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take 90. We like to see that. Let's get this thing rolling.
Everyone was completely drunk last night? I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, something seems a little bit off about that one.
What are you saying?
I found these liquor bottles in the guest house, and some of them were filled with water.
Water?
At first, I thought it was mixed in during the whole mess of alcohol being brought to the party.
However,
But now that I think about it, it's possible that the culprit was just pretending to be drunk and drank water instead.
Hajime's like, oh, she smelled those bottles.
Wait a minute. I don't remember much because of my foggy memory. But are you saying that someone was just acting as if they were drunk?
Yes.
If Hajime was acting drunk during the party, he knew we would cross him off the suspect list.
Yeah, he took a lot of precautions.
There's more to it than just that.
If I'm on the right track here, something I heard earlier should further condemn Hajime. That something is the homie's account, right? Shinji's account. Okay, never mind. That's wrong. Is, further condemn him. Marks on the bell, leftover bottles. Lucian, Kanade. It's not Shinji's account. Possible. It's probably not that. Apparently control the length of whatever. It's not that. Leftover bottles. What's in the ball spot? Broken lights. Calf. Let's try Yoriko's account, because that seems like the most.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yoriko,
If
do
it's
you
not
remember
what
you
that
told me
was, then it had to
earlier?
be that.
You said Yuri left to go to the washroom before you all went back to the monocruise.
Correct?
Yes, I did.
Didn't you also say that someone else left with Yuri at that time? You said you couldn't remember who that someone was, but do you think that person could have been Hajime?
I guess so.
Give me a second to think. Well,
Wait, I think I remember. That person told us to go ahead while he took Riri to the washroom.
Oh.
They told us they'd follow us back right after. They had blonde hair and bulky muscles. It was Mac!
Good job!
Yes, I believe it was. I wasn't paying much attention back then because I was under the influence.
Oh, you were also lit. I had no idea.
The thought that a murder would occur had hardly crossed my mind that night.
you both remember? Jeez, why can't I remember?
You were knocked out.
Even the drunk people remember what happened. Why couldn't you, Yoriko?
Because she was.
Because your brain has more air bubbles than last night's booze.
Why are you after her?
I can't take note of everything while I'm completely absorbed in taking care of drunk people.
Why is Kanade so out of pocket?
Why are
Oh my
you being so
gosh.
harsh with me?
Right?
Because your bad memory frustrates me.
Well,
Had you remembered, we could have pinned down the culprit much faster than we did.
that's fair.
But thanks to the testimonies from the others, I think we have got the culprit set in stone.
Kanade, calm down.
Yuri must have been completely drunk. He couldn't even walk on his own.
Yeah, he surely couldn't walk after Hajime was done with him either.
In fact, wouldn't he nearly be out cold, considering the fact that he didn't refuse help from a man like Hajime?
Fair.
So Hajime lied about Yuri going to the washroom and left off with him, then never came back to the Mono Cruise.
That man's was blackout drunk, my goodness.
Considering Hajime as the culprit allows everything we've talked about so far to make perfect sense. Hajime, did you really murder Yuri?
He did, and he'd do it again.
Your argument is too soft.
No, stop, don't do this. Don't make me do the thing. You know you're gonna make me do the thing. I'm bad at the thing.
Hajime's the culprit? That can't be right.
Shinji, you're the captain of Team Xtreme. Come on, we can't now. You're gonna make me. Okay, fine.
Hajime has an alibi. Please let me explain. I know fighting with words isn't my thing, but I'll have to do it to fight you, Sora. I have to do it for my friend.
Are we not friends? Shinji, but Hajime's a better friend. But okay. Oh, those are not the three things that I expected.
Hajime and I go jogging every morning.
I'll miss that one, so I'm gonna miss that one too.
Right after waking up. As always, waiting for his sleep. Like I said, while I was waiting, I saw Yoruko leaving the Mono Cruise. Hajime did arrive a bit later than usual, but committing a murder in that small gap is impossible.
That last
He's
one.
a cool guy, and when a man's gotta go, he's gotta go. You can't blame him for that.
Shinji, don't you think the fact that he arrived late itself rouses suspicion? Hajime is pretty strict about time as far as I know. Even if what you said is true, something about his actions are strange.
Yes, they're certainly strict. But when the Discovery announcement was made, Hajime was with us at the dining hall. If Hajime committed the murder at the bell tower, he wouldn't have returned in time to meet with us in the
No, gosh darn it! That was the one. Oh, that was the one. I hit S twice. I panicked.
Hajime and I go jogging
Oh
every
man,
morning.
that's fine. I know what to
That's
do.
our routine, right after waking up. As always, waiting for him this morning. Like I said, while I was waiting, I saw Yoruko leaving the Mono Cruise. Hajime did arrive a bit later than usual, but committing a murder in that small gap is impossible.
No, it's possible.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
He's gotta go.
He's gotta go. I do love
can't blame him
Shinji.
for that.
Oh wait, you almost got me there, Shinji. Oh, you almost got me.
Shinji, don't you think the fact that he arrived late itself rouses suspicion?
Oh gosh, I gotta do
Hajime
the
is pretty
thing.
strict
Give me
about
this.
time as far as I know. Even if what you said is true, something about his actions are strange.
Yes, they're certainly strict. But when the Discovery announcement was made, Hajime was with us at the dining hall. If Hajime committed the murder at the bell tower, he wouldn't have returned in time to meet.
I'll pierce through those words.
Get that man. Man, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I had it. That's fine. We'll save. Keep on keeping on. I had that one.
Sorry, Shinji. Hajime actually could have easily made it back in time.
I used all my luck. Getting those intimacy moves. And now I'm missing all of these things. Alright.
The body discovery announcement was made sometime after Yuri's death.
What?
Of course. The announcement is only made when 3 or more people discover the body.
Correct.
There was no announcement when Sora and I saw Yuri's corpse. Monoko announced the discovery only after we ran to the top and met Yoriko, and she also saw the body.
Yep.
So, did it go something like this? From Yuri's death to the body discovery announcement, the culprit had extra time to move around while Sora and Yuki climbed up the stairs.
About 5 minutes.
As everyone who used the stairs during the investigation knows, it takes at least 5 minutes to get to the top. Of course, the culprit was able to quickly get down safely by jumping off the tower using his fulcrum mechanism.
Correct.
This is a small island. If you run fast enough from the bell tower to the Mono Cruise, wouldn't it be possible to meet with everyone else at the dining hall before the announcement?
Yeah.
Then...
Wait, but didn't Shinji say he went jogging with Hajime? Yuri died at 7:30 a.m. If they went jogging together right after the morning announcement, how did Hajime kill Yuri?
Shinji and I briefly parted ways while jogging.
But that was just to get your grow cart that you left at the guest house, right? And even that didn't take more than 10 minutes. Executing this whole murder plan in such a short time isn't possible.
There's one thing that keeps bothering me.
Go on.
Do we agree that the culprit attacked Yuko right after the door opened, and then they carried her to the top of the tower?
Yes.
If so, they attacked Yuko and moved her to the bell tower at 7 o'clock on the dime, returned to the monocruise and met with Shin, started jogging, parted with him, and went to the top of the tower again.
Yeah.
Checked that you and Rara were there, and murdered Riri by jumping off. Dealt with the rope and the life vest, and then came back to the monocruise. All within such a short period of time?
Shinji, at what time did you meet with Hajime this morning?
Well, it was around 7:15 a.m.
Even if we say the culprit ambushed Yoriko at 7 a.m.
That
5 minutes
15-minute
to run
gap
to the
is...
tower, 5 minutes to rush up the stairs, 5 minutes to rush back down, 5 minutes back to the cruise.
It's too long.
There just wouldn't be enough time, even if Hajime buffed up his strength somehow.
Oh, there'd be enough time, alright. All you have to do is remove a step, and all the pieces fit perfectly into place.
Remove a step?
Were the stairs the only way down? No. He could have slid down the rope, as if you were riding an elevator. Didn't he already adjust their rope length for that?
Ah, that makes sense.
But wasn't the rope that connected to the life vest also connected to Yuri's body? Yuri died at 7:30 a.m., but if he rode the rope at that time, he would have killed Yuri after jumping. That's still a problem.
You just had to get rid of the rope's connection with Yuri. Hajime could have simply yanked out the hook from Yuri's calf while he was carrying Yoriko to the top.
Oh.
Ew. Not a lot of people wander outside in the morning, and Hajime would be the first person to enter the bell tower.
You know what? She's been off base a lot, but when she's on base, she's on base.
Wouldn't everything be solved if we assume that he put it back into Yuri's leg?
That's right, there was another wound. It must be because of that, the wound he had. Yeah, there we go.
Got it. The mysterious stab wound on Yuri's right calf.
Yes.
Kanade's hypothesis would explain how that wound was created in the first place. Initially, the hook was in Yuri's right calf, but in order to save time after moving Yoriko to the top, the culprit used it as a mode of transportation.
In other words, the culprit took out the hook from his right calf to move down, then hooked it back into Riri's left calf when he returned?
Yes.
After meeting with Shinji, the only thing left for him was to take his plan into action. So when he saw Yuki and Sora making their way to the top of the bell tower, he jumped down to kill Yuri.
Wait, Rara. You said a while ago that the culprit used wires to slow the falling and cushion the impact.
Right, so the first time, what happened?
But if he used the rope before the murder like you just said, doesn't that mean there was nothing to cushion the impact?
Fair.
Ah, that's true. The wires cutting Yuri's body would break the fall when the culprit killed him. But if he jumped with nothing but a small hook on the other side, there wouldn't be anything to slow him down.
Fair.
Isn't this a bit problematic?
It is.
I remember Miss Little Sis saying anyone who fell from that height would get their shoulders crushed.
No, it's not a problem this time.
Why?
I know this sounds like I'm contradicting my own words, but unlike back then, we know for sure who the culprit is.
The culprit? Are you speaking of Hajime?
Earlier, I said anyone would end up with a shoulder injury because I didn't know who the culprit was.
Yeah?
But Hashime's the ultimate boxer. Wouldn't he be able to withstand some degree of impact with his great physique?
That is fair.
After all, no one cares more about their health than he does.
Okay.
The life vest also would have absorbed some of the impact, right?
But doesn't that
Hajime's been
sound
silent
a bit
this whole time.
unrealistic? And even if he could survive the fall, that doesn't explain why he would bother setting up those wires. Why waste time preparing a braking system when you can just endure the impact in the first place?
That's also fair.
In your opinion, whom amongst us would possess the fortitude necessary to pull off such a feat?
Huh?
Hajime?
Well, based on pure muscle, I guess Hajime would beat Bro.
Well?
You see, the list of potential culprits has instantaneously been reduced to 2 individuals.
And it's not Shinji.
Oh, I get it. The fact that they were set up could be so the culprit could use their existence as an alibi. If there weren't any breaks, the second that jumping trick was revealed, our first question would obviously be,
Who
could endure the impact?
Exactly. Of course, He also might have still needed a safety device to lessen the pain of the full impact. Regardless of whether or not Hajime ended up enduring the impact, it's a definitive truth that the culprit jumped twice from the top of the bell tower.
Okay.
And therefore our conclusion would also be correct. Perhaps we should also examine Hajime's shoulders and see if we find any other condemning evidence.
My goodness.
Yeah. The culprit would have had plenty of time at night to estimate the strength of the impact through experimentation.
Also true.
If I may interject, Yuki stated that he received a message from Yuri asking for assistance. But the existence of this correspondence in itself is extremely suspicious. Yuri, with his acute misinjury, reaching out to another man on the verge of his own death.
That is the part that I've been like, huh, okay.
Is it not unnatural?
Most certainly. Yuki even said that Yuri was delighted at the idea of being killed by a woman.
Yes.
It's definitely not the attitude of someone who would ask for help if such a thing had actually happened.
Fair.
The message was probably sent to Yuki by Hajime, using Yuri E-Handbook Plus to create an alibi.
Yes.
That way, he'd be able to make whoever witnessed the murder scene run up to the top of the tower
Oh,
to catch
yes,
the
it is
culprit.
all coming together.
Now
Pieces.
I see why he used a syringe with measurements on it to inject the anesthetic. It was to make sure that Yuri woke up the second Sora and I got to the tower.
So, Jimmy was really thinking that far ahead when he planned the murder?
Jimmy?
Hey! Why are you all so confident that Hajime's the culprit?
Because he did it.
So the culprit set up riots not only to cushion the impact, but to confuse us and set up an alibi.
Yes.
And then he used the rope to move down. I'd say that theory checks out. But why did he put the hook in Yuri's leg and then take it back out? He could have gone down the tower with the rope first and then put it in his leg.
The rope first and then...
Could it be, perchance, that Miss Kabuya's interference threw a wrench into the culprit's machinations?
Through a wrench?
Allow me to
didn't
explain
plan
my
to.
reasoning.
Yeah.
Being unable to enter the monocruise once the slumbering hours occurred, the culprit was left with no option but to wait until morning. Therefore, it was crucial that they board the ship the moment the gates opened so they could play the part of the innocent. But Miss Kabuya stated that she exited the monocruise the instant the gates opened. Perhaps the two had a fateful encounter. Thus, the culprit had no choice but to ambush her in order to eliminate any possibility of her going to the bell tower. It would have completely jeopardized his carefully laid out plans after all.
I agree with Mikado. If you think about it, jumping off the top of the bell tower like that without anything to cushion your fall is just insane.
Agreed.
It would have been a risky gamble, even for Hajime. He wouldn't have done it unless he was forced to, due to some outside interference.
Interesting.
But, like, why did Ruko even go out that early in the morning? It makes her super suspicious, you know?
I told you already. I just wanted to get a head start on my investigation.
That was the only reason?
With everyone's morale being boosted from the party, I felt motivated to really give it my all.
You're great.
But the murder made the whole thing pointless, of course.
Yeah, it made, yeah.
Well, I think we finally put all the pieces together. Is there anything we're missing, Hajime?
Go ahead.
Hey! Hajime, I still believe in you. Why are you just standing there? Tell them they're wrong!
I admit, everything they've said seems to line up nicely. I'm not sure where to start.
Maybe that's because you're guilty?
Stop!
That's enough! Don't you believe in your friends at all?
You're all teaming up on me with weak, bullshit speculation.
I don't know about that.
There's nothing else to say.
The Terminator. Okay, what is this? Oh boy. You have to present a final, decisive piece of evidence that will... Yes. Before you can do that, you must break off the armor one by one. The screen will display a total of 8 lines, and the opponent's argument will randomly appear on each line. Move the cursor over a piece of dialogue and press Z to neutralize that argument. The argument will have... Oh, the opponent will have their own HP, which can be, by the color. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, displayed in gray, purple, blue, green, yellow. Okay. You can move the cursor in the empty space in the middle. You cannot move it into the empty space. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I see now. It's a box. Okay. The lower left will show ammunition, which will decrease by 1 when you fire a bullet. You may reload by pressing shift. I don't think I have to. No, I start with 9, don't I? I start with 9? I think that's the case. Try to time it well. Occasionally you will see a black argument on the screen. This is the opponent's true feelings. True feelings are comments arising from weaker parts of your opponent's heart. If you shoot them, you will take damage instead. Should true feelings arise, don't shoot it, just let it fade on its own. After breaking all layers of the armor, present the final piece of— oh boy, meat on the bone, bone on the meat. And then use the arrow keys. Okay. Okay. Dope. Let's do this. Fair warning, if you mess up the order of the final move, even— oh! Regain time of your— okay, that's fine, that's fine. We'll live, we'll— okay, so Z and shift. Okay, I only start with 6. I lied.
What a load
No, I start with
of
9.
crap. You've got no proof. What's the point?
Nope.
That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. You guys really falling for this shit?
It's over.
What's the point? What a load of crap. That ain't convincing. You've got no proof. What's the point?
This is fine.
You guys really falling for this?
I say this now.
refuse to believe this.
What?
The
Oh
logic
gosh, I have to
is
reload, I
bullshit.
forgot.
You've got no evidence. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this.
I can reload
Load
at
of
any time.
crap.
That's dope.
Got no
Oh, and the
proof.
reload
What's
time.
the point?
Gosh, her thing is so
That ain't
useful. That's
convincing.
dope.
I refuse to believe this. You guys really falling for this shit? Logic is bullshit. You've got no evidence. What a load of crap. That ain't convincing. You've got no proof. What's the
No,
point?
let me tell you, I am
You guys
so
really
glad I
falling
got
for
that
this
one.
shit? What's the point?
Nope.
Your logic is bullshit. You've got no evidence.
Alright, I
That
can't
ain't
move into the
convincing.
middle. Alright, that's fine.
I refuse to believe this. What a load of crap.
Doing pink.
You've got no proof. What's the point? That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. You guys really falling for this shit? Logic is bullshit. You've got no.
There we go.
I
We're making
refuse
strides
to
now.
believe this. Logic
Oh
is
gosh, I see.
bullshit.
Some of
Why
them
are you
are
suspecting me?
green
Guys
now,
really
so
falling
that's a
for
double
this
hit.
shit? No evidence. A load of crap. Why are you
Down,
suspecting me?
down,
Got no proof. That
down.
ain't convincing. I
Double
refuse
click.
to believe this.
Reload, double
What
click.
a load of crap.
It's over.
I refuse to believe
Double
this.
click.
It's over.
Why are you suspecting me? Guys really
Click.
falling for this shit? No
Click.
evidence. What's the point?
Click, reload.
Why are you suspecting me?
Click.
Got no proof.
It's over.
What's the point?
It's over.
What a load of crap. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe
It's
this.
over.
Why are you suspecting me?
Yo,
Guys really
this one
falling
was
for this shit?
useful.
No evidence.
Whose
A load
was
of
this?
crap. Why are you suspecting me?
I don't know how difficult it would have been. I guess because there's a reload timer too, so it might be easy to miss some.
A load of crap. That ain't convincing.
Give me that,
I
double
refuse
click.
to believe this. Logic is bullshit.
Oh, gosh.
Why are you suspecting me?
down.
Guys really falling for
missed
this
that.
shit? No
Give me
evidence.
that,
A load
give me
of
that.
crap. Why are
They
you
are moving faster now. Ooh boy.
You've got no proof. Why are you
this.
suspecting me?
Give me that.
Convincing.
Give me
Logic
that.
is bullshit.
Give me
I
that.
refuse to believe
Give me
this.
that.
Got no
Give me
evidence.
that.
A load
Double
of
click.
crap. That ain't convincing. I
Give me that.
refuse to believe this. Got no
Corner,
evidence.
there.
Logic is bullshit. A load of crap. Got no proof.
me
Got
that.
no evidence. Why are you suspecting me?
Yo, the no reload timer. Let me tell you,
It's over.
You guys really
I have never
falling for this
experienced
shit?
the reload timer,
Got no
but
evidence.
oh
A load of
boy.
crap. That ain't convincing. I refuse to believe this. Got no evidence.
It's over.
What a load of crap. Got no proof. Got no evidence. Why are you suspecting me? I refuse to believe
This is a breeze. A walk in the park. Oh, you naked. This is it.
Tell me why the hell I'm suspicious.
Unusual behavior for Hajime. Oh gosh, okay.
You've got no proof.
That's fine.
Point. That ain't convincing.
It's over.
You guys really falling for this shit? Believe this. Got no evidence.
That's fine.
Of crap. That ain't convincing.
Should just be
refuse
oh
to
gosh.
believe this. Got no evidence. Logic is
I missed
bullshit. Point. You've got no proof. You've got no evidence.
Give me this. Okay. So look at this again. It should be
Tell me why the
unusual
hell I'm suspicious.
behavior for
You've got no proof. Point.
unusual. I'm sorry, I'm busy laughing at
Guys
myself.
really falling for this
Alright,
shit? Believe
here,
this.
take
Got
this,
no
take
evidence.
this. Oh, I can shoot
That ain't convincing. I
that
refuse
too,
to
that's
believe
fine.
this.
Oh,
Got no
well,
evidence.
all my, there we go. Give me this. Okay, well now I'm screwing up. This is fine. Alright, give me
Why
that.
are you suspecting
I'll
me?
take that. I know what it is. I
Tell
said
me
it.
why the hell I'm
Unusual
suspicious.
behavior for Hajime. Boom.
This is the end.
No! Stop it!
Oh man, you really naked now. Oh, that's bad. Get your undies. Alright. Got polka dots. Alright. 20, 0, 80. That's fine. I probably could have gotten 100 on that one. At the end, I was like, I think the first time I just My finger completely missed the up button.
Are you really going to insist that you were drunk? You, Hajime Makunouchi, got completely drunk? That's not like you at all, Hajime.
Even at the time, you said a little bit. It's fine for
Nobody in our group cares more about their health than you, Hajime. I thought it was kind of strange that you were drinking at the party.
Thought so too.
You did say drinking a bit was good for your health, but you've made it sound like you drank way more than that.
Agreed.
And I just can't see someone like you not being able to restrain themselves from drinking.
There's a little thing called mood at a party, you know? I'm human just like the rest of you.
Well,
even I can cut loose and ignore my health for a bit.
No, that's not Hajime.
Mac.
No.
I just remembered. You were the one who invited Riri to the party, weren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He suggested that we invite
He
him,
is the one.
saying he's not entirely a bad person.
He did say that.
Even then, he hadn't forgotten to talk about the importance of health.
That's true.
Damn it! Hajime! What the hell were you thinking?
Seems like he doesn't believe in you anymore.
I'm not the culprit.
Fine.
Sir?
Have it your way. Let's review this case from the start. Then you'll have no choice but to admit to your crimes.
Alright. The last bit, closing argument. Sure, we might as well. Page 1. A cute little comic that I'm sure is going to be fantastic. It's got some things cut off at the beginning, and I gotta pick them in the right order. Press A to get specific details. Cute. Alright. Once it's complete, proceed to review it. If you think you've assembled it correctly, press Z to check your answer. Otherwise, you may reset the page by pressing X. There's no penalty for resetting the page, but if your answer is incorrect, your focus gauge will take damage. After all of the... Did I not use focus at all? After all the pages are complete, the explanation will be... Okay, great. Please, I know what I'm doing. Famous last words. Okay. Nice. What do we got? What does this say? Culper came up with the plan. Suggested throwing a party. Oh, I did not want to do that. I wanted to A. Go back. Actually, what was this one? That might be the first thing. Actually, that might have been right by accident. That may have been right. Hold on. I might have just accidentally, okay. Then there's a party, and then I think I accidentally hit the right one first. Confirm it. Dope. Okay. Gary's heavily intoxicated. Oh, I misclicked again. Delightful. Alright. That's the one. I think I might have accidentally done it right again. During preparations. Yeah, I think I did it right accidentally again. Helping with the cleanup. No, that's helping with the setup. That one's first. Well, that's fine. Then it's that. And then it's that. Cancel. Reset the page. Yeah. So it is helping setup, and then during prep, boom, and then this one, and then this boy's plaster because he got too much. Confirmed. Great. And then we have injecting. Takes Yuri. Went out until nighttime. Pretending to help Yuri. So... What is this one? Party went on until nighttime. Correct. What is this? So this, and this, I believe. Let's see. So he just did what? He just stuck him with the thing. Adjusting. That's probably the last thing. That's next to last. Oh, well, that's totally wrong. We'll just do this real quick. Man, I told you guys. Let me tell you. Alright, so first, what does this say? Great. So we start with this. And then... give me this, and then this, and then... oh, no, and then that. And confirm. Yeah. And then, page 5, analyze, adjusting the rope. After adjusting the rope. Okay, whatever. What did you do? Risky jump. Well, that's probably first. So give me this. And then adjusting the rope to the top. So those just carrying her to the bell tower. So give me this, and then he yeets himself out of the bell tower. Okay. And then Parts Ways made up an excuse, so first he'd be meeting with him. What is this? That's gonna be the last one. Oh, we got 5 here? Jeez Louise. Ready to put that in action, not yet. And then what is this? Did he do this before or after? Okay. Returns after he jumps off. Sure. Makes an excuse. So this is the interesting bit, because these can happen in, I believe, any order, really. I believe he'd have to do this first, then this. Oh, one of them just isn't gonna be there. Oh, interesting. Okay, well that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, so what is this? I believe that one is going to be right. I believe I might have just had it right. Screw it. Give me this and yeah, we'll do this and this and we'll see what happens. That's right. Dope. Alright, and then we arrive. The ropes. That'd be the last thing. Yuka receives it is the next thing. So you getting this and freaking out, which is like also a great picture. You keep freaking the heck out. Then we arrive, and then you do the... what is this? Does this just say jump? Jumps. And this says, as the culprit is falling. So this, and then this. Nice. And then... discover the corpse. Zoom! Disposes of the incriminating evidence. Pulled up is probably the first one. Savagely good. Falls back down and cuts the rope after reaching the ground. So first, since he's jumping, this man is getting... what is this? Falls back down. So you're here. Falls back down, correct? No. He's up in the air, cuts the rope, then falls back down, then they witness it. Yeah. And then... well, that's just not gonna be here. Dope. So what's gonna happen is... I believe... what is this? Yeah. Ooh, hold on. Believing that the culprit is there, you guys climb to the top. And that's the body discovery announcement. Okay, so that's gonna be the last thing. So I think... so I think it's... the order on this one is tricky too, but we're gonna go this one and this one. Let's think about how that goes. As they run, he's zooming back, he goes here, and then the body discovery. Now, do they dash first, or does he zoom first? I think they dash first. I'm fine with this one.
This is the truth of the case.
We got that perfect. Tell him, Sora.
It all began when Yuri started saying all that weird stuff about wanting to die for a single woman.
He said it, I was there.
He knew we were all growing desperate, so he offered any girl the chance to kill him and escape. Unfortunately, his words caught the attention of this case's culprit.
I was gonna say.
If Yuri had been killed, everyone would suspect a woman of being the culprit. The culprit used this to their advantage in the murder. However, Yuri had locked himself away and only answered to women. Setsuka decided she wanted to host a surprise party to get everyone to cheer up.
And it worked.
Our culprit saw this party as a critical part of their plan. After getting himself involved with the party setup, he was able to convince everyone to invite Yuri. While preparing the party, our culprit took the opportunity to swap some of the drinks with alcohol. This was to make sure people would get drunk. It wasn't long after the party started when Yuri, a man who was fond of alcohol, had become completely intoxicated.
Lamau. Act 2.
Both our culprit and the victim drank late into the night until they had to return to the monocruise. Once the party reached its end, our culprit helped Yuri and slipped away from the others.
Oh.
As a result, both the culprit and the victim were left all alone at night outside the monocruise.
Fair.
Once separated, the culprit took our victim directly to the bell tower.
Why did she leave two seemingly drunk people alone? That seems like a bad move on Yokuro, but I guess you had to deal with 5 of them.
Since this all took place at night, there were no witnesses or interruptions that could affect them. Yuri was already passed out from being drunk, but to be extra sure, our culprit used a syringe to inject him with an anesthetic solution that would keep him out for a long time.
Not just a long time, the perfect amount of time. That man's was cold and calculated.
Since our culprit had plenty of time until morning, he took some time to practice his method. It was during this practice that they made sure all of their measurements were perfect. Once the culprit was satisfied with their preparations, they had to wait outside until morning. Once the morning announcement went off, our culprit was going to enter the monocruise. However, as soon as the doors opened, Yoriko stepped out of the monocruise.
So this is interesting, right? Yoriko was not a part of the plan. Her being there only made the plan better for him. I feel like if she wasn't there, I think it would have been easier.
If she had gone to the bell tower, this whole case would have been ruined for the culprit.
Fair. That's very fair, it's true.
The culprit had no choice but to inject her with the remaining anesthetic and moved her to the bell tower. Although the decision was made in the moment, it actually ended up driving suspicion away from them.
Right.
During this time, the culprit had become late to their morning jog with Shinji, so they had to hurry. So, they removed the hook from Yuri's right calf while moving Yoriko. Going both up and down the stairs would take too much time, so they decided to use the hook as a means of transportation.
The hook?
With Yoriko in tow, the culprit rushed to the top of the bell tower. With the hook detached, our culprit quickly jumped off the tower using their fulcrum method. Normally, they would injure themselves without the weight of Yuri and the wires to slow them down.
However,
but they decided to take a risk and put their faith into their fitness and health.
Lamau.
Luckily for our culprit, his talent was perfect for something like this. The culprit, who had shortened his travel time, joined with Shinji in the monocruise.
That is captain of Team Xtreme Shinji.
During the jog, our culprit made an excuse to depart from Shinji for a moment. Returning to the bell tower, the culprit rearranged the hook placement. They couldn't reuse the right calf, as it had been completely torn up. So they inserted it into the left calf. This is the reason he had wounds on both of his calves.
Yes.
Once everything was ready, the culprit used Yuri's e-handbook plus to send a distress message to Yuki.
Why Yuki? That was such a mistake.
As Yuki received the distress message, our culprit quickly made their way up to the bell tower. Once the culprit heard that we had arrived and Yuri had woken up, the culprit jumped off the bell tower once again, this time with the intention of murder.
I guess he probably didn't care as long as someone witnessed it.
Yuri, who was connected to the life jacket via the hooks, was sent flying into the air. As Yuri flew up, he was cut by several sharp wires that had been set up by the culprit. The culprit, now safely on the ground, cut the rope and...
No. Go ahead and continue.
Yuri was sent falling downwards to finish him off. Since there was nothing to slow his fall, it was without a doubt the true cause of death. Yuri, who we had just witnessed alive a moment earlier, was now a bloody mess on the ground. This is the truth of Yuri's death as Yuki and I had witnessed it.
Done.
Once we saw the gruesome sight, we decided to rush up the stairs, hoping to find the culprit at the top.
Well, they dashed, but he
While
zoomed.
we rushed to the top, the culprit disposed of the life jacket and was hurried towards the monocruise.
Hajime.
Doing so would give them an alibi when the body discovery announcement went off. Fortunately for them and their fitness, they were able to make it back in time for the announcement. Right after the body discovery announcement, the culprit made their way to the bell tower with everyone else. In doing so, they reacted innocently with everyone else and pretended to be shocked by the event.
But Kokoro knew.
However, this was all an act. In truth, they had been the one to kill Yuri. That culprit is without a doubt.
Tell him, Sora. Tell him, Sora.
You, Hajime Makunochi, the ultimate boxer!
Tell him, Sora. Oof, break. Nothing. Because somehow I got all of that right. Nice. Excellent.
It's over, Hajime. You are the culprit.
Alright, as of this point, I don't know anything else that happens.
Well, I guess I can't argue against that.
But why?
Does that mean?
It can't be helped. They got it all right.
There was like no motive this time.
I'm sorry, Shinji, but I'm the culprit.
How'd I do? I know, 2 of those rounds don't look too good, but I still gotta... I'll take it. Oh man, the first sword thing, that was an experience for me. But the second one was just fine, I think. That might have been my 55, actually. I take that back. Alright. What do we get? 4 skull points. And some crow? How much crow do we get? We better get a whole bunch of crow. That's a bunch of crow. That's a whole lot of crow. A what? More? Oh, rank bonus. Oh, well, I could have gotten better on that one. Whoops, daisy. Alright. Nice.
Have we reached a conclusion? That wasn't nearly as interesting as I thought it would be.
I thought it was pretty interesting.
Are you ready to see if your answer is right or wrong?
It's right.
As a warning, you only have 1 chance. I will assume that you've had enough time and proceed to the voting.
Okay.
Now everyone, choose who you think is the culprit with the switch in front of you.
Easy. Yuri did it.
Will your answer be correct or incorrect?
I mean, he admitted to
What
it.
will be the outcome?
He admitted to it, so I assume it is correct. Right? Correct? Verdict. The big old wheel of... I love the wheel. Hajime did it. I am shocked and appalled. Now I knew. Alright, cool. And that's the end of the class trial. Well, that's all the time that... No, okay, let's... Oh yeah, we could save. I could save and just end it right here, and even though we didn't do the post-trial, that would be a... that would be a terrible move.
Oh.
Your answer is correct. The culprit who killed Yuri Kagarin was Hajime. Congratulations on coming to the correct conclusion. Well, thank you, Crow. Hajime, how could you? Well, it's pretty... Well, we explained it, Shinji. I know you're the captain of Team Extreme, but let me tell you, my boy. I'm sorry.
What is it?
Sorry, you're the culprit. You murdered Yuri. And all you have to say for yourself is, I'm sorry? Why? Hajime, why would you of all people who cares about health kill someone? Right, please give us an answer. Why did you kill Yuri, Hajime? I can't tell you. Huh? You can't tell us? You won't understand. Even if I did, it would only make you despise me more than you already do. Are you serious? It's your fault we have to go through this whole trial mess in the first place. She's not wrong. We do this and you won't even give us a straight answer? Well, to be honest, you weren't very helpful, sis. I don't know why you're always out of pocket, Kanade. But most of the time, you're not wrong when you're out of pocket. Mac, please tell us. We just want to know why. It's just every time she's winking and I just never noticed, and that's my favorite. Did you forget about the rules of the class trial? The rules? If the Blacken's identity is revealed in the trial, they will be punished. Right. Hajime, you're about to die now. Don't you realize that? Indeed, those are the cruel rules of the class trial. If the Blacken is identified during the trial, they alone will be punished. And since Monocro confirmed our answer, Hajime is without a doubt the Blackened that killed Yuri. Thus, Hajime won't be able to escape from the inevitability of his imminent demise. She's right, Hajime. We won't despise you, but we have to know, what led you to commit murder? Right, there was no motive! Was it just because you wanted to escape? That's all? It was the same for all of us. We all have friends and family waiting for us out there. We all had the willpower to hold in our desire to escape. It's hard to believe that Hajime would just murder someone because he wanted to leave. He must have had another reason. Something that pushed you to commit murder. Mac, just tell us what it was. If you don't, I really don't know if I'll be able to move forward from this. I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Hajime.
Yeah, well...
But you're right. I didn't kill Yuri just to get off this island. I had to commit murder, so I did. My decision didn't have a process. The only thing left to behold is the outcome. Sir? Whatever my true reason was, I killed Yuri. I'm not trying to make any excuses here. I just want to die the way I am now, as a murderer. Hajime.
Hey!
To die? Don't jump to conclusions. That's not decided. That's dude, Shinji. Look, look. I know you're the team captain of Team Extreme. Come on, man. It is decided. We decided. Just wait. I'm sure there will be another way. What are you talking about? There's no exceptions to the rules on this island. Are you turning into escapism now? Fair. No, but hold on just a second, Hajime. Did you say you wanted to die as a murderer? What are you getting at, Kokoro? That's not what you're thinking at all. What are you saying? Kokoro's out here with... Hold on. She's OP.
It's pointless.
Miss OP, can you... Go ahead. You cannot deceive me, Hajime. The emotion in your words just now. You're hiding something. What's the matter, Kokoro? While it's true that Hajime's words right now seem stoic, his thoughts betray something else entirely. Hajime is under the belief that he himself will not die at all. What do you mean, Kokoro? Are you reading his thoughts or something? Basically. I know your mind reading is real, Koko, but doesn't it seem a bit far off for Mac to think that for Mac to think that way right now?
Incorrect.
I cannot read his exact emotions because of the sunglasses covering his eyes. But I see that there was an abnormal reason for your murder of Yuri. Was it?
You piece of...
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was prepared to die. I have nothing more to say. Monocro, just start your stupid punishment. Mr. Makonochi, you may tell them. Sir? What?
So how's that?
You may tell them the truth. I suppose you were concerned about the consequences. But that is of no matter. Speak freely. Besides, I doubt we can hide this from Kokoro any longer, right? Because she's OP! You
better watch it!
Hey, stop bothering him. Why are you trying to make that decision for him? Is this another one of your conspiracies? Mikado, are you sure that's okay? Huh?
Good grief.
Completely. You are aware of our abilities, right? What? While we cannot reveal everything at this moment, telling them your reason for murder should be acceptable. I will handle the aftermath. Do as you please. These two, what are they talking about right now? Oh, she doesn't like that. Really? Well, if you say so. Nothing's ever gone wrong listening to you. Hajime, what's going on here? After finishing that sentence, Hajime took a deep breath. And then he spoke.
So, y'all want to know why I committed murder, huh?
Yes, well, kind of. Maybe not. The sudden malice in your eyes and sharp teeth makes me not really want to know, but I think you're gonna tell me anyway.
The answer's simple. It's because I was supposed to commit murder.
His eyes full of madness, his mouth letting out a twisted tone of voice. The Hajime we knew was gone, and in his place was a Hajime we'd never seen before.
What are you talking about, Hajime? You're acting really strange.
What's so strange? You all wanted to know why I did it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just as I said. It was my mission to murder.
Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying. And something doesn't look right about you now.
Is it his red eye? Yeah, that seems bad.
Sorry for keeping quiet.
Okay.
But since it's already too late, and Mikado gave me permission, I'd like to say it out loud to y'all.
Okay. Please do. Say what out loud?
How dangerous.
Although this must be painful to hear, I must reveal that Hajime is a proud member of Void. Void? What's that? That's the name of the organization Mikado briefly mentioned on the first day that we came to this island. Good memory.
Huh?
I forgot. Huh? Didn't he just make that up? Make up for... Wait, what? Didn't he just make that up for his false persona? It looks like that wasn't the case. Okay. That's right. I'm working with Mikado, the mastermind behind this whole killing game. What? It's a lie. This can't be.
Incorrect.
It is no lie. That fact completely, perfectly explains Hajime's strange behavior. It was all planned out from the start. Then everything he did, everything we know him for, was it all an act? I told you, didn't I? If I tell you why I killed you all, you'd hate me even more. Well... yeah. What's going on? I was trying to pay you all back for our past week together by getting off the stage as quickly as possible. Hajime, were you really on the mastermind side this whole time? That's right. I've been on his side from the very first day of this field trip. No, before that even. From the very start of his plan. That's the world-famous boxing star Hajime Makunouchi involved in a large-scale criminal organization like this. Damn it, normally this would have been the perfect headline, but I'm in shock. I can't believe it.
You better watch it!
You, Hajime, you're gonna make me get extreme! Why? How come? What do you mean by supposed to murder?
Regardless.
They likely coordinated this event in advance. You must kill someone to escape this island. It's easier said than done. The killing game could easily fall into a deadlock when the centerpiece is something as wicked as murder. Yeah. That's why I expected a motive and was shocked when there was no motive, but okay. I suppose Hajime's rule was to break the deadlock by committing the first murder, am I correct?
You're amazing!
Indeed, we planned everything in advance. It would have been serendipitous for a murder to have occurred without Mr. Makunouchi's involvement. But reality is rarely that cooperative. That conversation at the dining hall yesterday. Do you remember when Yuri said that our motive to murder was weak? True. Back then, Mikado answered that the killing game was structured so that someone would kill. Is that what he meant by that? Hajime worked for the mastermind and hid amongst us in our daily lives. If a murder didn't occur, he was going to come out and do it himself?
So how's that?
Now that we've crossed this threshold, I believe it would be best to drive the dagger of despair in even deeper. Allow me to reveal one more painful truth to you all.
I'm just kidding around.
In truth, Mr. Makanochi and I are not the only members of Void. Oh! Okay. What? Myself included, Void is an organization of 5 members in total, so it's you, Hajime, and then 3 others. All 5 of them are currently standing in this very courtroom. Do you fully grasp the implications of what this means? That means there's more of us besides Hajime that are working for you right now? No way. Who? Who are they?
Careful now.
Naturally, I cannot say. Oh, if it wasn't already evident, the late Mr. Kagarin is excluded from all this. Dang it. It is truly a tragedy. He would have made this school trip much more interesting had he lived a bit longer. Why? Why would he have done that? Why would he have made it more interesting? Spaceman, why would he have made it more interesting? There's got to be a reason for that. Well. Now I got to start figuring things out. Jeez Louise. I had no choice. It was to create a conflict of men versus women for the exact reproduction of the case. Yuri was the only one whose death would be able to achieve that. He stirred up theories of a woman being the culprit, just being the victim of the case, correct. What? Hajime, don't tell me that's the sole reason you murdered someone. You listening, Shinji? Shinji, my mission was to kill someone. All I had to do was choose who. Of course, I had to prepare the murder and all the tricks all by myself. It's a lot of work. A lot of weight on my shoulders. It's a good thing they weren't dislocated when you jumped off the tower, right? Too soon? Sorry, Yuri. I tried my best to win, but I guess it was too hard for me to deceive the brain power of 13 people. Not to mention it would have been a whole other problem if I had actually...
You better watch it!
You bastard! I'm about to get extreme! What? Huh? Big bro, no violence. Oh, he's about to... Oh, that's bad. Unable to repress his anger, Shinji ran towards Hajime, but Hajime easily overpowered Shinji, someone taller than himself, with a single punch. He's the ultimate boxer. What? Are we surprised? We need to make sure he's okay.
You.
Are you nuts? Did you really think you could challenge the ultimate boxer? Fair. Mr. Makanochi, even if you were about to depart, violation of rules is... You're about to kill him! It doesn't matter, my job here is done. Shinji! He's out cold. What was that? Hajime, you hit Big Bro with your full strength? We've been together for a week now. I thought you saw us as your friends. Did everything that happened this week mean nothing to you? I thought we had something special. Well, it was enjoyable to some extent. At one point, I really did feel like I had made some real friends. But why? Why did you bring us here to make us kill each other? Kokoro, can't you just read his mind and find out? Mind reading is not perfect. It cannot be used anytime I desire. You can only tell me the general emotional state and the mood of the individual, not their exact thoughts. I can't just simply understand why he's decided to side with the mastermind. But can you tell us which of the other people are from Void? Right? Right? Because the way that Mikado stated this, it sounds like you're not a member. I think that's the only confirmed person who I can say is not a member. And I'm gonna give it to Shinji, because he just got knocked out cold. So I'm gonna say they're the only 2 people in the clear for me right now. Sora's super suspicious, because she don't remember anything.
Yeah, well...
Anyway, sorry for tricking you guys. But I couldn't help it. I can't live on without this plan. What does that mean? Pardon me, you two. Every time you Voids get the spotlight, I feel like I am reduced to a mere bird with no purpose. I have my roles as the teacher and the judge, but it seems like my time has come for me to do my job as well. Ah yes, it seems I was a bit too hasty in giving my surprise announcement. Whoop-de-doo. Without further ado, so just, this guy's OP too. He's just got people lined up to take people out, but I guess there's only 3 other people who can do that, right? But that gives us Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and Chapter 4. And that's under the assumption that nobody else. That's interesting. Alright, without further ado, Monocro, please begin the grand finale of the class trial. Very well. I've prepared a very special punishment for the blackened Hajime Makonochi, the ultimate boxer. I think that's enough, Mikado. You don't have to go this far. I don't need the punishment, so just tell me the way out and I'll be waiting for you there.
How boring.
I beg your pardon? I'm afraid I don't follow. You are the loser of this trial, and therefore you will be executed. Whoa. Stop joking around. Oh. I was supposed to leave after this. Surely we won't actually kill you. Didn't. Oh, you did. You're about to get got, boy. I will. What? Forgive me, Mr. Makonochi, but even I can't bend the rules of this game. Are you not aware that we Void are participating on the side of the students? I'm certain you have not forgotten that the correctly identified Blackened must face execution. That's so strange. That the members of... Technically, the members who are working with you, the members of Void, are... People who are working with you are still just students, even though they know they're supposed to kill someone. But maybe they didn't know that they'd face execution, because apparently the homie here didn't know Hajime. I said stop joking around. Well then, shall we begin? Oh, this is just part of the act, right? You're just pretending. Farewell, Mr. Makonochi, I shan't forget you. There's no need to cower in fear like that. Who knows? Perhaps if our plan succeeds, a blessing of fortune may be able to resurrect you. A blessing of fortune.
You son of a bitch! Do you think the other 3 are just gonna let you get away with this? I'll reveal the entire plan right now!
Please do.
It's punishment time!
No, wait, let him reveal the rest of the... Let him go. Let him do the... Let him reveal the... Oh. But he didn't... I wanted him to... Can you please, while you're getting executed, can you just go ahead and tell me what's going... Okay, that's bad. Alright. I also don't actually know what his execution is like. Do I? Maybe I don't. Maybe I do? Maybe I don't. Somebody's just gonna... Have I not seen this? I don't think I've seen this. Okay. I'm sorry. Ugh. Oh, 999. 0. Oh! That's no longer hilarious. It was me trying to contain my laughter when I saw buff Monocro. And then they shredded that man's head, and that's not okay. Okay. Bad.
Good grief.
My apologies again, Mr. Makonochi, but you should have realized. No matter what may befall you, the Void all have no choice but to obey me without question. Okay.
Until we meet again.
Why? You can't kill them, that's against the rules. Thank you for the entertainment. What was that? Is this real? Although he had sided with the mastermind and killed Yuri, the moment the life of the person who had been breathing and alive a moment ago had vanished in another. As we witnessed the shocking scene, no one was able to let out a word about the sudden influx of new information.
Hey.
Hey.
Huh?
Oh, we finally... Oh, he was asleep the whole time? That's hilarious. You know who's also asleep right now? Shinji. He's KO'd. Just now, I sensed something interesting was going on. Anyway, here's what you said. There's 5 masterminds, including yourself among us. Said masterminds are pre-planned to carry out murder if none of us do anything. And you guys are making us to participate in order to achieve some kind of purpose.
You're amazing!
You're amazing! That would be correct! Then why did you just betray your allies? I mean, he might not have technically betrayed them. I don't know. Like the Boxer said, I don't think their other 3 are just gonna twiddle their thumbs and do nothing about this. What do you think?
How dangerous.
Mr. Hashimoto, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Hashimoto, but is it not your creed to stay out of the affairs of others? Well, this is his affair now, lest it benefit you directly.
Yeah, shit.
I do, but it's just out of curiosity. Satisfying my curiosity would directly benefit me, right?
I guess I was wrong.
From the moment you revealed yourself as the mastermind on the first day here, I still have yet to figure you out one bit. I gotta wonder how perfect your plan is for you to be okay with all the ways you're spoiling things. True.
Good grief.
Our business is none of your concern. Well, since we're in this game, I think it's kind of some of our concern. This applies to the remaining 3 members of Void as well. I can understand that you may be confounded by my actions today, so they probably weren't expecting this either. Okay.
So how's that?
But as we have reached the conclusion of this trial, I ask that you please think things over carefully in your rooms. Whether this was an act of mere betrayal or a sacrifice for the greater good. After finishing his sentence, Mikado disappeared into flames. So, you know, it seems like he has not sealed off his magic. Liar. Aside from Siobai, the rest of us stood in the class trial room without knowing what or how to speak.
This is stupid.
Is it over? It's about time. I'm heading back.
Now then.
Let's head back to the Monocruise. You're still winking, okay. I know this is hard, but even Big Sis herself here is barely standing tall right now. Neither is Shinji. Who's gonna carry this man's back? We don't have any other strong people. But we need to move on. Let's return to the Monocruise. Let's go back and think on this.
Oh dear.
Right. Shinji's still knocked out cold. We need to take him to the infirmary. Alright. Biki, Kana, could you two help me out? Oh. Don't touch me. What? Stay away from me. Oh. There's 3 voids among us. And they're all working for the mastermind. Yo, what if one of the twins is a member of Void and the other one isn't? I'd like that. I can't trust anyone aside from Kanade. Get out of my sight. What are you talking about? What's more important is...
Look.
Oh, sis, calm down and think about this first. Shut up, what's your problem? How dare you interrupt your older sister when she's talking? Uh-oh. Huh? Sorry, don't be mad at me.
Hey.
Well, what about you, Kanade? If both of you sisters are members of... Well, oh, true. What if both of you sisters... I didn't think about both of them being members of Void. I was like, what if it's just one of them? That's not true.
Are you for real?
Well, it's easy for you to say, but as a journalist, I suspect everything I see.
What is it?
Wait, then what about you? Do you have any evidence that you're not a part of Void? I don't think there's any evidence that anyone is or is not a part of Void.
Well...
You know, it's possible to think that you planned together with Hajime to intentionally muddle up the case. That's fair. The both of you working together as fellow members of Void, that'd be smart. What? What did I just say? Because there's no proof that, Calm down, you guys. Why are you suddenly fighting? If we all don't trust each other, nobody's gonna be able to carry Kenji back. What if Mikado and Hajime were speaking the truth? It'll only Yeah, it'll be hard to put trust in anyone from now on.
Therefore...
Sorry, but carry Shinji by yourselves. If you're going to act like this, I guess I can't trust you guys either. Hey, why is everyone... It's no use, Setsuka. Maybe this is how we were meant to be. We were all afraid of being killed by one another from the start. And now that we know there's 3 other masterminds in disguise, it'd be a miracle if things went back to the way that they were before. What's wrong with you, Yu? Sure, Riri and Mac are dead. Yes. Yes! 3 of us are masterminds. Yes. So what? Should we give up on everything we've built up to this point and start killing each other? Don't you think that's even more ridiculous?
Sorry.
Sorry, I may have gone too far. But at least, for right now, no one's in the right state of mind. If only Big Bro were awake. Everyone's gone crazy. Which is fair. Roha, how about you? Oh, she's scared out of her mind. Setsuka. Rara? Let's go. We should take Shinji to the infirmary. Oh. Okay. The 3 of you going off on your own, and maybe you 3 are members of Void now. The only one who I can really trust right now is Kokoro. And maybe Shinji. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. My leader and co-leader of Team Xtreme. Maybe I'm just giving them outs because I like them both now. That dramatic scene was a perfect summary of how an infectious disease becomes a pandemic too soon. Too soon. Highly contagious. Some of our bonds were already unstable from the start. This class trial just hammered the final nail in the coffin. Even Setsuka, who was trying to encourage everyone, deep behind her words could lie some form of mistrust in us, distrust. Our lives together will never be the same thanks to this class trial. All that was left was the impact of a small seed named Void that Mikado had left behind. After carrying Shinji to the infirmary with Setsuka, I silently left the monocruise on my own. Interesting. Some time had passed and night had arrived, but the chaos still remains in the monocruise. A chaos where you can't trust anyone, a chaos where your only ally is yourself. So you're just gonna walk alone all night? The prevailing distrust that we were currently feeling easily led to a murder while I walk along the beach now. Is there even anything I can do about it? In my current state of affairs, all I can do is just watch as the chaos unfolds. To avoid being lost inside the turmoil, I strolled along the night shore in silence. Who am I? Who am I to have to go through these events at this place? Are you gonna ask if you're a member of Void yourself? If anyone knows the answer, please tell me. Huh? Huh? What was that sound just now? A-E-I-O-U? Through the sound of the wind and the waves of the night sea, I heard a man's voice. Ignoring my overwhelming anxiety from hearing the sudden voice, I approached the origin of the sound. And there I found... Oh, hey!
Hey.
Ray? You're not dead?
It's... that person?
Hey. Gosh darn it, I wanted more answers. Alright. Well, green-haired man isn't dead.
Danganronpa.
Oh, well, that's interesting. That is really interesting. Now he's up there as a student. That's really interesting. Ooh! Ooh! That's interesting. I really like that. I like that addition. That's really dope. Okay. I'm the champ. Okay. Would you like to save your progress? Absolutely. I don't think there's any more progress that we can make. I think we have a feature. Yep. When further chapters come out, please load the save that you just made. I will. Thank you for your infinite amount of patience as we hope you enjoyed your time playing. I did. If you found any bugs or problems, please report it to the bug. So I should probably join the Discord. I didn't find any bugs though. The game crashed once, but I save so often. Thank you for playing, yeah. And see you in the near future. Near future for the rest of the game. Huh. With love. The Super Danganronpa Another 2 English dub team. And a game that doesn't just cut to, just doesn't close out after the game. You love to see it. This was really... Well, I mean, the dub was incredible. The base game is incredible too. I should probably also link the original game in the description. Jeez, that's awesome. This was great. So, at this point, I'm completely blind to the rest of the game. No. So, aside from, so here's what I knew prior to doing this. I knew Yuri died, I knew Hajime was the murderer, and I knew what happened at the bell tower. Everything else I pretty much didn't remember, or didn't know. I kind of knew it was the pulley thing. I knew that. I don't think there's anything else that I knew. Yeah, because I didn't watch the entirety of Chapter 1. Or maybe I did, but it's just been so long. I didn't know anything about Void. So that really caught me off guard at the end, I'll be completely honest. As a result, I have no idea who the members of Void is. I know one more person who dies, but I don't know when, and I don't know if they're a blackened or if they are or if they're a victim. Do I even know if they die? I'm fairly certain they die, but I don't know when, if they're a blackened or if they're a victim, which basically is I'm still blind. Which sucks to suck. I mean, that's fine. This was super duper enjoyable anyway. Incredible Fangan, incredible fan game. Incredible job to the team. Because the class trial was super duper well done. I was excited for the class trial because it's just, and I think I mentioned this in a comment. I think a comment to Acto. This is the meat of the game, the heart and soul of what the dub team put in, because that's all the voice actors, and I guess all the translations too, but the heart and soul was all the voice lines and all of the matching of voice lines, because I know that's a hassle to do. So they did a fantastic job, and I can't wait for the rest of the game because I don't know anything else that happens. Which is interesting, which is, I want to play more. I'll probably do, because I think there's an English translation, or at least the start of the English translation of Super Danganronpa Another 1. And I will say I know nothing about that game. Zero things. I know that I think one character is Satsuki? I think? And she's a clown? That's pretty much all I know, and that's because of somebody from the Discord. I don't even know if she lives or dies. That's all I know about the first game. I do want to play the first game, though. I'd love to play the first game before I finish this one, but who knows when either or both will be out. I might end up playing them, like, back to back, which will be super strange. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Aviator, that's me. In this year of the ascent rising to the top, Toon Link Dave, the United States Avian, that's me again, yes. Go ahead and check out all the links in the description to the original creator of the game, to the dub team. Yes, that's it. I'm just excited for this. This is super good. It was really well done. So I do have a couple goosebumps, because let me tell you, the end really did have me a little shook, because I really didn't know anything that was about to happen. At one point I was like, I don't know anything that happens after this. Because the whole time I was wondering, but why? I never thought about why until like halfway through the trial. I was like, why did he do this? There was no motive. But that just sets up a whole motive for the rest of the game, which is so interesting. It's so gripping. I like that. I do like that a lot. I liked a lot of this. I liked a whole lot of this. And it was just really well done. That's really well put together. That's all I'm gonna, because this is long already. Stay classy. Year of the Horizon. Check out the links. No, it's not. Year of the Ascent. Rising to the top. Toon Link Day. United States Aviator. Toodaloo. Fly Crew. Thanks for watching. Until who knows what is next time. But there will be a next time. Toodaloo, Fly Crew. See you later. Team Xtreme forever!